The following is an exclusive presentation of Jefferson Pilot Sports, a division of Jefferson Pilot Financial.
Hey, y'all, we're Brooks and Dunn.
And this is the SEC Football Game of the Week.
That's right.
Let's play some football. Yeah, they blow out on the field like TNT. Those pigskin junkies of the SEC. Get up, get on your feet. Let's rock, let's roll. Get her done, get it on. Tee it up, let's go. Got them Tigers balls tied, hogs, gators, and dogs. Let's play some football.
It's an old-style grudge match as Tennessee travels up Interstate 75 to face Kentucky on our Game of the Week.
Hey, let's play some football.
On Jefferson Pilot Sports.
The cool weather can't stop the football fans here in Lexington, Kentucky. For the 101st time, it'll be the Kentucky Wildcats and the Tennessee Volunteers on the gridiron from Commonwealth Stadium, the final game of the season for these two clubs. As the Tennessee Volunteers come in here, losers of 4 of their last 5, and Kentucky trying to snap a streak that goes back 20 years. That is losses to the Tennessee Volunteers. And hello again, everybody. I am Dave Neal, and welcome to our All-Tel SEC Game of the Week right here on Jefferson Pilot Sports as we wrap up the 2005 season. Not a great year for either one of these two teams on the football field, and if you talk to the Kentucky fans and their players, they think that this might be their best chance in 2 decades to upset the Tennessee Volunteers. Tennessee trying to win for the 5th time here in 2005. And joining me, as always, my partner Dave Rowe. And Dave, while it hasn't been exactly all roses for either one of these teams this year, you can look at some young running backs that have put on big-time performances of late. Raphael Little over at Kentucky and Arian Foster for Tennessee.
Oh, absolutely, Dave. 2 excellent running backs and 2 different styles. For Tennessee, it's Arian Foster. He runs hard to the hole. He gets up in the hole real quick. He reads his blockers really well. He powers through the hole. And I think he can really make a difference. You saw 40 carries last week for 200 yards. On the other side of the ball, if for Kentucky, it's Raphael Little. He's got some of those same qualities, but he's more of a slasher, the cutback. He's always looking for it. He darts through the hole. And you talk about 2 teams that need the running game to step up. Today's that day.
Well, Raphael Little a little bit banged up. He had less than 30 yards on the ground against Georgia. Now, Dave, talk about your Toyota keys to the game.
Well, first of all, for Tennessee, Arian Foster, he is just unbelievable. He's a workhorse. He may need to be really good today because Eric Ainge at quarterback has been shaky at best. You want to take pressure off Ainge? Let Foster carry the ball 40 times. And for Kentucky, it's the little things that make a difference, and that's Andre Woodson has not been a dominating quarterback this season, Dave. Add to that the torn ligament in his thumb, and you've got problems. The big cure for that could be Raphael Little. If he, at the end of the game, has 25 to 30 carries, Kentucky will have solved their problems, Dave.
It's a series that goes back to 1893. Tennessee leads it 68-23, and they have tied 9 games, but it's the 101st meeting between these two teams. There is Rich Brooks, who, despite the fact that this club is 3-7 on the year, 2-5 in the league, he feels that he has seen a lot of good things from this young club. Philip Fulmer, well, we all know about what has happened with this football team this season. Randy Sanders, their offensive coordinator, midway through the season, steps down as an offensive coordinator, has been an assistant on the club the rest of the year, but will leave the Tennessee program as soon as this game is over. Kentucky won the toss, and they defer, so Tennessee will receive. Comes down to Lucas Taylor, number 12. Lucas out to the 20 to the 25, and that is where Tennessee will set up shop. A 20-yard return. Let's check in with Dave Baker, who talks more about today's quarterbacks.
Hey, Dave, a couple of banged-up quarterbacks. First for Tennessee, Rick Clausen not out there. Bad bad left knee. Thought he was going to be able to go, but it stiffened up later in the week, limping badly before the game. Andre Woodson for Kentucky. He's got a pad on his left hand. He couldn't touch his fingers together. He injured it last week, and what that caused was some problems. Remember how we see Michael Spurlock hand off to the left side with a right hand? Joker Phillips, the Kentucky offensive coordinator, said Rich Brooks saw that at practice one time the other day and about had a heart attack. So it's going to affect what Woodson can do as well.
Arian Foster out of the backfield, flag down. Penn Wages, our referee today. One play, one flag.
Yeah. Oh, it's going to go against Tennessee.
Ben Wagers, one of the best in the business. Glad to have him on hand this afternoon.
Holding. Number 17 on the offense. Penalty 10 yards from the flag. Down remains first.
Take a look at our Chevy starting lineups offensively for Tennessee. C.J. Phaeton with 24 receptions. A lot of balance out of these guys, but not a lot of big plays. Up front, this is where some changes have happened. Alberto Toina not playing today. He's been suspended for the game. David Ligon will be at center. Richie Gandy also suspended, but only for the first half due to some incidents after last week's Vanderbilt loss. Foster gets the handoff off to the left side. Antoine Huffman runs him out of bounds. You heard Dave Baker talk about Rick Clausen and his lack of mobility, but Eric Gaines will get, we assume, all the snaps today, depending on what transpires over the next 3.5 hours or so. But Dave Rowe, this is a big game for him. When you look at, I mean, he really needs to get the confidence of not only his coaches, but his players as well.
Absolutely. He's got to come out here and take charge. I was watching him in a warm-up, and Dave, I want to tell you, he looked sharp. Everything was right on. I mean, he looked downfield. He was taking pressure off himself. He looked good.
Chris Brown, the tight end, makes the grab. Flag down. As we take a look at the starting lineup for Kentucky, brought to you by Chevrolet. B.J. Parsons, he's knocked down 5 passes this year. Good athlete out of Irvine, California. And no flag on the play, by the way, so it'll be a 3rd down situation. Wesley Woodyard, the sophomore from LaGrange, leads this team in tackles, and Muhammad Abdullah, boy, he plays about every single snap and brings it every single snap. Here we go, 3rd down and a long 3 for the Volunteers. 4 wide receiver set. Quick hitter to the middle. Pass is caught, good enough for a 1st down. It goes to Brett Smith, the junior out of Warren, Arkansas, tripped up by Roger Williams, the strong safety.
And it's interesting to see what Mike Archer, the defensive coordinator for Kentucky, is going to do. He puts pressure. He's got 8 men up on the line of scrimmage. Look how quickly Ainge had to get rid of that ball. Good cut. Know where that 1st down marker is. Just drive him off the line, turn around, and have the ball there. So far, I think Ainge is off to a good start. Those are confidence builders when you complete those first 2 or 3 passes.
Tennessee's 1st down grab on 3rd down was the first 3rd down conversion against Kentucky in a game. They didn't give up one to Georgia last week. Tripped up for about a 1-yard pickup by the safety Roger Williams as Arian Foster couldn't break free.
Well, this is a good play. It's a string out play. What you do is come along the line and then force him to go left to right. He runs outside, and up comes Roger Williams, just cuts underneath him, takes his legs out from underneath him. And Mike Archer's got to be happy about that.
One of the great defensive minds. Says he needs about 3 or 4, maybe 5 more playmakers defensively to be able to run what he thinks would be a great defense in the SEC. Catch by Brett Smith out toward midfield. That'll be good enough for a 1st down. McGrath and Schuler converge on the stop. Brett Smith now with 20 catches after 2 quick ones here today.
Smith is coming off the line. He's in the middle in the slot. He's just going to curl around. See, he just finds an open seam, and Ainge is just building up confidence. I want to tell you, watching Ainge, watch this good delivery. That's a nice pass. I want to tell you something. Ainge has got all the physical characteristics. I think he's going to be a great quarterback. He just has to get the confidence as a quarterback.
6'6", 215 pounds. Hillsboro, Oregon. Another pass by Ainge. It's caught. You can strike up the band for Robert Meacham and the Tennessee Volunteers. 50-yard touchdown pass.
What a catch by Meacham down low. This is a great catch. It's down below his knees. You left to your screen. You're going to see him come in. Look, that's right between the defender. That's Huffman on him. And Meacham just looks down there and has those hands just right underneath that ball. That's perfect. And what a throw by Ainge. Again, one of those confidence builders.
So for Eric Ainge, that'll be his 4th touchdown pass of the year against 7 interceptions. James Wilhoit on to attempt the point after. It is through the uprights. So Tennessee on their opening drive. It didn't take very long, but they march it down the field. A 50-yard touchdown strike for Robert Meacham. Seven 0 Tennessee leads Kentucky. Took 2 minutes and 10 seconds for the ball to march it down the field. A season-long pass for Eric Ainge. Season-long reception for Robert Meacham on the 50-yard touchdown strike. 74 yards if you throw in the penalty that moved him back a few yards. It was a relatively long drive where Eric Ainge was 4 out of 4 for 74 yards. Wilhoit to kick it off. It's a good kick that sails all the way through the end zone. So Kentucky will bring it out to the 20-yard line. This Kentucky offense averaging just over 23 points a game. That's a lot better than they were a year ago. The 1st and 10 line, as always, presented by Nexium, the purple pill. This offense last year ranked 114th in the NCAA, 115th in the NCAA.
Tennessee on the kicking team. 5-yard penalty. Re-kick.
So we'll wait a moment for this Rich Brooks offense to come back on the field.
That flag kind of caught me. I didn't see it across the field there, Dave. It must have been on the far side.
Yeah, we'll go with that.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, that sounds good to me.
Well, I know it wasn't down here.
But we talk about this Kentucky offense, Dave. They really made some improvements under Joker Phillips this year. As I mentioned, 114th in scoring, 115th in total offense a year ago. They've moved up to 79th in scoring, 74th in rushing, and in total offense, over 300 yards a game. And there is Joker. You can kind of make him out a little bit.
That's
He's standing
Joker
up.
right in there.
And, you know, once again, injuries have really hampered some of the things that Joker Phillips wanted to do with this offense. But you can see the improvements.
Oh, absolutely. They've got a lot of the pieces of the puzzle, and it takes time to rebuild a team. I think they've got their offensive line starting to come together. They've got a lot of youth there. They're just going to have to get 4 or 5 more players.
Here's Drake Davis from the goal line. Drake out over the 20, tripped up at the 24-yard line, and that is where Kentucky will take over. So a 4-yard improvement for the Wildcats. Let's take a look at our Chevy Kentucky offensive lineup, and Jacob Tamme has really come on strong the last few games. 14 receptions in the last 3 games, and had a big game against Tennessee last season. Raphael Little, will keep an eye on him to see how he handles this Tennessee front 4. And the offensive line, the most improved aspect of this team from a year ago. 4 of those 5 have started every game this year. And there's Andre Woodson, 58% completion percentage. Coaches say he just needs to make better decisions and not take a big loss in critical situations. And we'll keep an eye on that hand to see how he handles these snaps with the stretched ligament. First pass, as he gets drilled to the ground, is incomplete. Looking for Alexi Beginge. Let's take a look at our Tennessee defense. And Dave Rowe, as front 4s go, as a former front 4 guy yourself, that's a pretty good group.
Well, many people pick them as the best in the nation front 4, and I don't think they've disappointed anybody.
Kevin Simon, a guy that just goes sideline to sideline. His motor never quits. 84 tackles on the year. And, of course, losing Jason Allen has hurt a little bit, but these guys have stepped up without their All-American corner on the field the last 6 games. An improved area for Tennessee in the secondary from a year ago, too. Boy, they just got lit up left and right last season. Woodson swings it out to the far side. Beginge, not much happening. Stopped at the line by Inky Johnson, the corner, who's filling in that spot for Jason Allen.
Boy, and Johnson just read that quickly, got out in the hole, just came. Look at him, he loves that kind of stuff. That's what you've got to do. You've got to attack if you're a cornerback or a safety. He's a weak safety. He just comes up there. Now this hand situation with Woodson, it's his catch hand. It's the one that he puts up under the center's tail and catches the ball with. It shouldn't affect his throwing, but it's going to be very painful coming up and hitting it. You see the tape on it and the little splint up in the thumb area.
Well, here's a situation Joker Phillips didn't want to get himself into, especially early. It was a 3rd down and long. It's 3rd and 10. 4 receiver set.
Here comes Tennessee. They're going to come off the ball.
4-man rush. Pass batted down at the line of scrimmage by Justin Harrell, who already has 1 interception this season. And so Kentucky will have to punt it away.
Just a straight rush, bull rush. Big man on big man. Justin Harrell gets the hands up. See him slide around there now. Get those hands up. Boy, I'll tell you, that play was open. If Woodson been able to get it past Harrell, he had a completion right there. But good play. That's what you do as a defensive lineman. You know, that pass was a little bit low, but it was going to be a dart right in there on that crossing pattern.
Tim Mastay to punt it away to Jonathan Hefney. Wobbly kick. And Hefney lets it bounce at the 40, and the Wildcats will down it at the 36-yard line, just inside the 37-yard line. Time for our Chick-fil-A nugget of the game. We always like to bring you a good nugget, and this one is most rushing yards in a game so far in 2005. Jarius Norwood, 257 against Houston, but look what Arian Foster and Raphael Little did. 198 for Raphael against Vandy, and Foster last week against Vandy put up 223 on 40 carries, 1 shy of the school record for carries. And as soon as Gerald Riggs went down, they turned the ball over to Arian Foster, and he has produced in they thought that this guy could be a good SEC player, but I think he has definitely overachieved.
Yeah, now they know he's going to be.
Right. And here is Arian to the 41-yard line, a gain of about 4 on the play.
And let me tell you what Eric Ainge did on that play, Dave. He was looking to the strong side. The formation was strong side. He kept on looking, came across. He had confidence in his line and dumped it. That's one of the big things that you have to do.
There is Rick Clausen, who has completed 57% of his passes this year and has brought back Tennessee from some what looked like devastating defeats, but he has rallied. And the young man in his senior season out of Thousand Oaks, California. It's been a tough year for him and Eric. These guys have had to alternate, and you know it's just deflating for both guys because they want to take every snap.
Absolutely. If you're a quarterback, you want to be in there. You don't want these on the sideline signaling in plays. Looks like it's Eric Ainge's game, and I'll tell you this is the best I have seen Eric Ainge get started. He's off to a confident start.
3rd down and 2. Here comes some pressure from the Wildcats. They nearly get the blitz. A flag is down. Arian Foster backpedaling. And he's got some green grass on the far side. He gets a block from his quarterback, and Arian Foster may go the distance. He's to the 10. 1 man to beat. Touchdown, Tennessee, if it stands. There is a flag down at the 44. We will wait and see.
Wow, if you're Mike Archer, if you're Phil Fulmer, you're saying don't let the flag be against us, but I think he's going to be disappointed. But that had to be about a 100-yard run when you start looking at where Foster ran all the way to the sideline and then cut back.
Illegal motion against the offense. Wide out receiver was moving toward the line of scrimmage. Snap. Penalty will be 5 yards. Down remains 3rd.
Oh, there he is. You saw it down the bottom of your screen.
Oh,
that was Brett Smith. He just didn't get set. Now watch Ainge here. I love that. Watch right there. Nice block. Eric Ainge on Huffman.
Instead of being instead of being a touchdown, it's back to 3rd down and 7, and Arian Foster is out of the game after the long run. Ainge stands in the pocket. Pass is batted down by Antoine Huffman, who adds to his UK record, 27 passes broken up.
And Dave, that is perfect coverage by 36 Huffman. Crossing pattern. Look at this. He gets that hand in there. He steps in front. See how he puts that left hand up there? Meacham is reaching for the football. Very nice play.
Antoine Huffman, one of the great guys in all of college football, does a lot off the field. Probably does more off the field than anybody I've had a chance to come across in the SEC in the past decade or so. And That's not saying the other guys don't do a lot, but Huffman certainly is involved in the community. Good kick from Colquitt. Fair catch called for at the 22 by Raphael Little. So Kentucky dodges one there. 37-yard kick. Wildcats will come back on offense after a word from your local stations. Back inside Commonwealth Stadium. Hope everybody had a great Thanksgiving as we wrap up the 2005 SEC football season right here on Jefferson Pilot Sports with Tennessee and Kentucky for the 101st time. 1st and 10 for the Wildcats. Little goes in motion to the far side. Woodson quick two-step drop and passes caught, but Glenn Holt hit the ground in a hurry, so a gain of just a couple. Let's check in with Dave Baker, who has more on Antoine Huffman. Buzz?
You know, Dave, he's one of these guys, he's what a student athlete ought to be about. Senior, graduated with honors last December. He had a degree in telecommunication. He's real active in the community. He's over at the hospital all the time. He's a member of the National Good Works team, and he's one of the semifinalists for the Ronnie Lott Impact Trophy. Winner's going to be named December 11th. He just does so much on and off the field, and he really is a great representative not only of this institution, but of the Southeastern Conference.
And Buzz, how about the fact he was homecoming king?
I forgot about that.
Out to the 34-yard line goes Raphael Little at his first carry. And Antoine Huffman, I think Coach Brooks said it best, is he's the kind of kid why you get into this business.
Exactly. When you look up and you see him, that's the kind of kid you want. You know, I was going to say that Kentucky, when they started this series, Dave, the one thing they did not need is to go 3 and out. They had to come out and establish some offense. You've got Tennessee there. You just dodged a bullet with that penalty, which brought back a touchdown. Now your offense has got to step up and do something. Now, according to the Purple Line, that's short. I can see that.
You got to get just to the front edge of that purple line for a first down, and if that's not conclusive evidence that our purple line is right on, I don't know what is. You know, one other final comment about Antoine Huffman. You know, he has a twin brother who just academically out of high school just couldn't get into Kentucky. They both had committed here, and Antoine decided to stay here. His brother decided to go elsewhere, get his grades in order, and he ends up playing for Texas Tech for Mike Leach. He's a cornerback for Mike Leach, the former offensive coordinator under Hal Mumme here at Kentucky, and he is a big part of Texas Tech's. His brother's name's Antonio, if I didn't say that, but a big reason why Texas Tech has made a resurgence in the last couple of years. And that will be a first down for the Wildcats.
That was good ball control up on the line of scrimmage. If you're Rich Brooks, you're driving them off there. That's just coming off there. You follow your fullback, just get up there and use that strength. Hey, first down. They were able to move the ball for a series.
Our Hummer scoreboard yesterday, LSU wins by a pair over Arkansas, but the Razorbacks had a chance, folks. They had a chance, but LSU found a way to win that one. Nebraska all over Colorado. Texas goes undefeated. They can get through the Big 12 championship game. They will eye a date with USC if USC can keep going. But if not, there are a couple of teams hanging right there on the periphery. One of those happens to be LSU.
Absolutely. You know, the rushing football against Tennessee is tough, Dave. And I'll tell you right now, I think that I'm seeing that offensive line of Kentucky getting a little bit of movement up there. Nobody all season has been able to run against this Tennessee defense.
We've got some numbers that will attest to that. We'll get to in just a moment, but it's 2nd down and 7. You think it could be the bluff. If it wasn't audible, it wasn't the right one. Paris Harrelson, who has just been dominating tackles all over this league, comes up with a big hit on Raphael Little.
And Harrelson is actually too small at 248 for defensive end. But look at the way he just does a little swim move, gets in the backfield, uses that great speed. Again, watch this, move to the outside, get right around the circle. He just circles around the tackle. That young man, I think he can play in the NFL. I know he's not big for the NFL. At 6'2", about 245, 248. But he's got great speed.
There have only been 4 rushing plays over 20 yards against this Tennessee defense, and only 2 teams have gained over 100 yards on the ground against Tennessee this year. Woodson pass batted down again. This time it's Jason Hall.
Boy, Jason Hall just kind of spied the quarterback. He was stuck on the line. He was actually the deepest one. 94, you're going to see a little twist. Now watch him. He's just stuck on the line there. There he is right there. And he just sticks there, stays right in front of the quarterback. You'll see him 94. Now that's a little bit low, but you know, that's not too bad. You're running the dart.
But you got, as a quarterback, you got to see the guy there in front of you. I mean, I think as a quarterback, you've got to be able to make that throw.
Well, it's tough when you're moving around that pocket. You're trying to pick up your wide receiver, and all of a sudden that defensive lineman jumps up in your face.
Mestay with a good punt. That'll send Happy back to the 10. And a block in the back and a fumble. Kentucky's got it inside the 10. Drake Davis with the fumble caused, and then the fumble recovery that looked like he got blocked in the back in the process.
Steve Ortmeyer, the special teams coach, said to me, keep your eye on Drake Davis, 26. He's Mr. Everything. Look at this. Gets blocked in the back, sticks in there, puts his helmet right on the ball, and then jumps on top of the ball. I don't know if they have fives on special teams in grades, but this is a 5. When you get blocked in the back, you stick the ball, injury covered, give your team great field position.
And that has been pretty much the story. Turnovers for Tennessee in critical times have cost the Vols a couple of victories. Raphael Little gets a couple of yards on the play, close to the 5-yard line. Look at the red zone for the Kentucky offense. Just a little over 50% and touchdown to opportunities. And that red zone powered by Honda generators for the ultimate tailgating experience. You see that Tennessee -9 in the turnover margin.
That's one of the worst in the nation.
104th in the country. Woodson lofts it up to the corner. Incomplete. The tight end, Jacob Tamme, has 1 touchdown catch this year.
Yeah, Tammy's on a little drag across. And what Woodson is trying to do is lay it over there. Good defensive position in there. That's sliding along. I think that's Corey Campbell, number 26. Might have been Fellows, though. Maybe it was 36. Didn't see the number quite well enough. But you got to come away with a touchdown here, Dave. If you're Tennessee and you can hold them to a field goal, you're happy.
Kentucky 1 out of 3 on 3rd downs. They look at a 3rd and goal. Again, Woodson dropped at the 15. This Tennessee defense now has 30 sacks on the season. Paris Harrelson with his 7th sack of the year.
Harrelson is all the way over there. You'll see him, number 96. Look at him. He's all the way around the outside. You just can't do that. Your offensive tackle takes him around to the outside, but Harrelson's got such great speed, he gets all the way around lane, number 57, and makes the tackle.
Buzz, what'd you see?
Remember when Joker Phillips was telling us yesterday about this defense? He said there are 2 big guys for Auburn, there were 4 big guys for Georgia, and there are 4 edge guys for Tennessee. Perfect example of that speed you were just talking about.
Absolutely, absolutely, Buzz.
Here's Taylor Begley, who's hit 8 straight field goals. And you can make it 9. He is 11 out of 13 on the year. Mr. Consistency. From 31 yards out. And Kentucky takes advantage of the Tennessee fumble at the 10-yard line. But the ball defense stands tall and only yields 3. So Kentucky presented a holiday gift, but as my spotter Kim Anderson said, they refused to unwrap it. They lose 4 yards and get away with 3 points, however. 5:01 to go in the opening quarter. Begley to kick off. Down to the 4-yard line goes Lucas Taylor. Taylor to the 20, out to the 24-yard line. A 22-yard return. Closed captioning today brought to you by Shuck Sports. Tennessee. Tennessee offense that has managed just 17.5 points per game this year. That's 106th in the country. You look at the weapons that this team has, and you're kind of going, huh?
I'll tell you right now, it's the best team with that record.
Yeah, as Rich Brooks said, maybe in history of college football.
He said ever.
Yeah. Foster nowhere to go. 3 blue jerseys led by the linebacker Wesley Woodyard, the sophomore at LaGrange. It's Arian Foster. That play loses about 6 on the play.
And what Woodyard did is he came up quickly up into the line. He got into secondary and just stuffed. Look right there. There's no place to run. He runs with the running back. Foster runs right into the linebacker, Woodyard.
Well, we were talking about this team in scoring, Dave. They have ranked, as you see right there, ranked 3rd in the league and fewest touchdowns scored this year, just 21 by the Vols. Ainge, backpedaling, throw over the middle, passes, caught, but a flag down right in the area of holding. The crowd in front of us all had their arms in the motion of throw the flag, so we'll wait and see. Jason Swain made the grab. Well, I know the section right in front of us saw it.
Oh, they were all standing up. Little receiver ISO here. Come inside, just get in there. Swain just kind of curls. See, it's taken a long time. Look how long he had. He actually gave up on the pattern. But I want to credit 2 things as we listen to the call.
27 on the offense. Penalty will be half the distance to the goal. Down remains second.
The 2 things are, first of all, Ainge stayed in the pocket, didn't panic, didn't look downfield and throw an error. That's big. The offensive line for Tennessee gave him time to look downfield, Dave. Those are 2 big things when you've got a quarterback.
Well, they gave him time with the hold. I mean, all quarterbacks get time if you hold somebody.
Well, they hold every time, those offensive lines.
Yeah, I figured you'd say that. 2nd and 24. Arian Foster was grabbing a hold of Wesley Woodyard's jersey. And now Foster will get the handoff, and he gets it to the 15, falls forward to the 16-yard line. Adenku makes the tackle for Kentucky.
And that was an interesting call there by Mike Archer, the defensive coordinator. What he's doing is he's allowing them to run that little draw. He said, hey, you're not going to pick up 25 yards on that draw. They picked up 5, 6, 7 yards. One of the things that he told me, the keys he told me, is he was not going to allow Tennessee to come out, do that hard count where they set and see what you declare your defense. They will change their defense no later than 8 seconds before the clock's up.
Kentucky with their dime package, 6 defensive backs, 4 receiver set for Tennessee.
See how they're all stationary, not moving?
And a delay a game against Tennessee, and they are backpedaling in a hurry right now.
And I think what happened that time, I think that Ainge was waiting for the defense to declare, and they didn't move. They stayed solid.
Prior to the snap, delay of game on the offense. Penalty. Down remains 3rd.
Take a look at our Hummer scoreboard from games today. NC State, field goal better than Maryland. That game in the 2nd quarter. And how about Iowa State against Kansas? Iowa State needs to win if they want to play the Big 12 championship game against Texas. 3rd and 23.
Does Mike Archer come with pressure now? Yep.
Delayed blitz. Ainge skips by it, going deep, looking for Swain. Batted down at the last minute by David Jones. The junior cornerback came up with a big-time play.
Boy, 2 things. First of all, Kentucky came with pressure. Bo Smith, 24's got the pressure on him. Look at Ainge just step around him. Now, look at this throw, and what great coverage on the play. You talk about good coverage. David Jones just sliding, playing the man. He's playing Swain, and he just goes up and knocks the ball away.
Tennessee forced to punt. Colquitt out of his end zone. End over end, but it's a good kick that sends Little back to the 43-yard line. A wall of white jerseys in front. So good field position coming up for the Kentucky Wildcats, and a 46-yard punt, a good one from Britton Colquitt. But Raphael Little, Dave, the guy's a workhorse, and he has done some major damage to some teams in the SEC. He's a little bit banged up right now, but look what he did against Vanderbilt a few weeks ago. 372 total yards of offense, almost 200 on the ground. He had 5 catches for 86 yards and 2 returns for 88. The guy does so much with his hands on the football, but he's a little banged up right now. And for a guy like that who's not that big, how tough is it for him?
Oh, that's really tough. See, that's when you get your rest on the receiving special teams if you're an offensive defensive player. He doesn't get any rest, Dave.
New quarterback in. Curtis Pulley takes some snaps. First pass is caught to the near side by Keenan Burton. Gain of about 4. Rashawn Fellows makes the stop. And Davis, we see Curtis Pulley, the true freshman out of Hopkinsville, Kentucky. Coaches say he's just a great athlete.
Oh, he's got great skill. I think he's much more mobile in the pocket. He can step up and run the football, as you see evidenced by his feet. There's his passing stats. But I'm wondering whether they pulled Woodson because of that hand. Was the hand sore? Or are they just trying to get a little bit more into Pulley, a little bit more quarterback movement?
Joker Phillips told us we would see Curtis Pulley today. There was no set plan. We'd see him at quarterback. We see a lot of wide receiver. He's such a great athlete. They got to get him on the field. Raphael Little breaks a tackle or two. Brought down by Ryan Carl.
And Dave, if you're Tennessee on this down right here, you have got to keep a quarterback like Pulley in the pocket. You've got to be able to come up, keep a contained rush, crush the pocket around him. Don't let him step up through.
Dave Baker, you got more on Curtis?
Yeah, both these young quarterbacks for Kentucky have developed, Dave, but the Kentucky coaches were telling us yesterday that it's going to be a horse race to see who's the starting quarterback next year, not because of anything that Andre Woodson hasn't done, but because of the way Curtis Pulley has performed in practice. It's just the progression of a young quarterback. The way he goes, the way he has progressed, he now can react instead of thinking about those reads and everything, and he's a young guy with that athletic ability. And the other thing that Rich Brooks said about that, Dave, is the fact that if you're a starter and you really don't have anybody putting pressure on you, you kind of get in that comfort zone. Well, Andre Woodson's not going to have that comfort zone next year because of Curtis Pulley.
And he says it'll be good for both guys to have a spring practice and a fall practice where they're challenging each other for the starting job. It'll make both those players better. Pulley against Georgia, 3 out of 7 for 8 yards last week when he came on to replace the injured Andre Woodson.
And I asked Joker Phillips and, of course, Rich Brooks, I said, does he have all the throws? In other words, does he throw every throw? Not where you have to have special throws. He said he's just a freshman, but, yes, he has all the throws.
But don't forget that next week in Atlanta, it'll be the SEC Championship game. And, of course, you need to swing by and check out the Dr. Pepper SEC Fanfare. And if you come down Saturday around noon, you can watch us put together our pregame show, our Chick-fil-A SEC Championship special at noon Eastern from the Georgia World Congress Center. All of our combatants will be on hand. Myself, Dave Rowe, Dave Baker, our producer Rob Reichler, director Gary Clem, the rest of our great crew. We will break down the game for you, and we'll also play a few games. Philip Fulmer, whose club has been to the SEC title game for the last 8 years, will watch this one from home, as this club not going to a bowl game either. And we were talking, that's probably the worst thing about what's going on, is the coaches miss those extra practice sessions when you get to go to a bowl game. Pulley keeps it and will not make the first down, which is inside the 40. Kevin Simon read it the whole way.
And credit John Chavis, the defensive coordinator for Tennessee. He knows that Pulley can put that football down. That was designed for a run, quarterback run. We've got an injured player down on the field, I think.
There's John Chavis, the defensive coordinator, waiting to see what Rich Brooks will do here on 4th down as Jacob Tammy limps off the tight end. If they lose him, that'll be a big blow. Jacob's been a big factor of late with 14 catches in the last 3 contests.
And you know what? If I'm Rich Brooks, hey, just go for it. I like this. Hey, you got nothing to hang on for. You need 2 yards.
4th down and a long one for the Wildcats. Pulley, did not get it, and he got stuck by Paris Harrelson. They just couldn't move the front 4 in the linebackers of Tennessee.
Well, what happened is when he came down the line, he never even tried to fake. He just decided he was going to run with it. He's going down the line. Look right there. You got a toss out here. You got to at least fake that. And look at number 2, Kevin Simon, coming up there, teaming up with Harrelson. And I mean, they just stick him. You've got to at least fake a toss out there and take pressure. Man.
I think in retrospect, he'd probably want to pitch that ball.
Exactly. Well, if you're covered, that's what a quarterback has to read. If you've got 3 white shirts standing in front of you, get rid of it.
So Tennessee takes over at the 41. Ainge threw it to nobody. Looking for, is that Robert Meacham on the far side? It was. Meacham was supposed to apparently do a little quick out.
Yeah.
Meacham's running a post pattern.
Now that's some real confusion, because Ainge just turned quickly and just darted that football out there. Now I want to see if that rattles them. That's the kind of play that when you're a quarterback under pressure and you put a lot of pressure on yourself, you start to push yourself and try to do a little bit extra. See if he comes back and stays calm.
Out of the eye, little play action. Ainge dropped, lost the football. Kentucky's got it at the 30. Trey Melch with the fumble recovery. B.J. Parsons is the one who got to Eric Ainge and caused the fumble. He'll get credit for a sack as well.
Way to the right of your screen is Parsons. Look at this. He just comes and just hits him while he's in the passing mode. And Parsons just comes around and actually almost came back up with the football. But great go-around speed. Got to the outside, and Ainge never saw it.
Second turnover today by the Volunteers. They have now coughed up the football 26 times this year. Between interceptions and fumbles.
Yeah, you talk about field position. Good night.
Kentucky has had some breaks here in the first quarter. 8 seconds to play in the opening, or actually 9 seconds to play in the opening quarter. Andre Woodson back on the field at quarterback. McGingy the fullback. Handoff goes to Little. He got nothing. Kevin Simon and Marvin Mitchell came in there and laid the wood to Raphael Little. And that'll do it for the first quarter. The big play was a 50-yard touchdown strike. Eric Ainge hits Robert Meacham. Tennessee responds with a field goal, and that's how we end the first 15 minutes from Lexington. We're back at Commonwealth Stadium, and you see Jeff and Evangeline. Sorry about that. I couldn't read my own writing. That's the Marlers. And their son, Brandon, is on the USS Kitty Hawk, an aircraft carrier. They don't know the whereabouts of the USS Kitty Hawk right now, but they know that all the sailors on the Kitty Hawk are watching today's game. And we here at Jefferson Pilot Sports want to send out the best to all our troops, but especially those on the Kitty Hawk watching today. As Kentucky has been given opportunity after opportunity here in the first quarter. Andre Woodson, quick throw, pass is caught by Glenn Holt at the 25. He'll mark it inside to the 24. Take a look at our McDonald's first quarter statistics, and Tennessee with 82 yards through the air, and Kentucky not a lot happening offensively, even though they've had the ball 8:28. I don't know that I've ever seen that.
I know.
8.5 minutes and 17 yards.
I know, that's exactly what I was looking at. I was looking down there waiting for you to say 8.5 minutes.
Well, the last time they created a turnover, they had it first and goal at the 10 and had 4 plays and lost 4 yards. Woodson outruns one defender, but couldn't outrun Tony McDaniel, the big 300-pounder out of Columbia, South Carolina. And with that ligament damage on that thumb, I don't know how much you want to be carrying the football.
Well, there's nowhere to go. He gets outside, but watch how quickly. He's going to get out here, but watch how quickly they close. Now, you read the play. You're coming hard from the inside right there. You got the big man coming down your back. That's McDaniel coming over top. Nice play. Big man can move.
It'll be 4th down and 5, and here comes Taylor Begley. 43-yarder. He's already hit from 31. This looks good, and it's not. It looked pretty, but it misses wide right. The first time Begley has missed in 9 field goal attempts.
Well, Dave, you saw the reaction of Rich Brooks. He knows that when you get a gift and you're given the ball on the 30-yard line, you have got to get points out of it. And that's the anguish. And that ball just faded at the end. It just comes just outside. Right there, it looks good. Oh man, that thing was close.
A little too much hook on that. And another opportunity goes for naught. Tennessee's going to be running out of gifts here pretty soon. Kentucky needs to take advantage. Arian Foster out over the 30 to the 31. Foster so far today, 6 carries, 16 yards.
Well, it's fun for me to watch this chess match because you've got Philip Fulmer over there on offense, and he's plotting his offense. You've got Mike Archer, the defensive coordinator, and he's sitting over here trying to come up with a defensive scheme to stop him. It's a good chess match back and forth. There's, of course, Archer. Doesn't want to show that defense, wants to get pressure, doesn't want to blitz a whole lot because he says that you have to pay the price when you do.
Haynes stands in the pocket. Great catch on the far side from Jason Swain. The junior had to do some acrobatic work on that far sideline and stayed in bounds and made the great reception.
Boy, he looked like a ballet dancer here in the last part of this with Bo Smith. Look at the great concentration. Get that foot down. That is just well. Swain did that just perfect.
27 grabs now for Jason Swain. Leads the team in that department.
How about the throw by Ainge?
Yeah.
That was a very nice throw.
This is not the same quarterback in terms of throwing the football that we have seen this year.
Absolutely.
Handoff to Foster off the right side. Good play in the open field by Bo Smith, but still a 4.5, maybe 5-yard pickup by Foster. You were doing the Tennessee Vandy game last week, and while I was off doing the Georgia-Kentucky game, and you know, 40 carries is a ton of carries. I mean, did he even look tired down the stretch?
I want to tell you, he was running just as hard at the end as he was in the beginning, and it was 40 times. I kept on thinking, what is the record? It was 41.
I mean, you don't see that very often.
For
in
223 yards, Dave.
Ainge, here comes some heat. Just throws it away. Good decision by Ainge. As Tennessee's front four really just demolished the front line of Tennessee.
Yeah, they went to a gap blitz that time, and they got good pressure there. Pryor, 98, was the one who got pressure on Eric Ainge.
Almost looked like Tennessee might have been trying to set up a screen the way the Tennessee defensive front got through there.
Now, if you're Philip Fulmer, you're hoping that Eric Ainge keeps his calmness, stay in the pocket, have confidence in your line, look downfield, and find one of those 3 to the bottom open.
Ainge passes caught. Josh Briscoe, the true freshman, will pick up the first down. Shamari Moore brings him down, but another good throw from Eric Ainge.
Absolutely. Stayed in the pocket. He had trips to the left. And watch him just sit back here. He's not looking at the pressure. You see the pressure coming on him? He is not looking at that pressure. He's looking at his wide receiver. And so many times that as he finds Briscoe. There's Randy Sanders, the former offensive coordinator, I guess you would say. He's got to be happy with this because he has suffered all season long with that quarterback controversy.
Still handles the quarterbacks, and he's got to be happy with what Eric Ainge has done so far. Ainge over the middle. Boy, what a strike. Pass is caught to the end zone. Touchdown, Tennessee. It's Chris Hammond. It's the 3rd touchdown catch by Hannon this year. That one goes 32 yards. And give a lot of the credit to Eric Ainge.
Oh, Ainge just sat back there, looked downfield, was so calm. When he's down there, watch how pretty the ball is thrown. Just right on a dart. Looked like it might have gotten tipped right in there. But good concentration by Hannon to look that football in. But Ainge looking downfield, a lot of confidence now, Dave. Look at the smile on his face. We haven't seen that a lot. He's enjoying the game.
Where has that been all year? 40% completion rate coming into this game for Eric Ainge. The extra point is up and good. For Eric Ainge, he is 9 out of 13 for a $146 and 2 TD strikes. It's our All-Tell SEC Game of the Week from Lexington, Kentucky. Dave Neal, Dave Rowe, and Dave Baker on hand. Glad you could join us on the final telecast of 2005 as Tennessee has opened up a 14-3 lead. Drake Davis will take a knee in the end zone. And Dave, let's go back to the touchdown, because actually, upon further review, Kentucky had a chance here.
Watch number 11. That's Ben McGrath. He's going to actually get his hands on the ball. You talk about a game of inches. You see the ball deflected right there. Good concentration by Hannon, looking that ball in. They say the game is a game of inches. Wow.
That drive, 6 plays, 68 yards, and because it's a successful drive, it means another $500 to the SEC's education initiative, courtesy of Safe Auto Insurance Company. Call 1-800-SAFE-AUTO, and you too can be a successful driver. Jacob Tamme back in at tight end. He left earlier, limping off the field on the last possession, but he's back in at tight end. Here's Woodson. Pass is caught by Keenan Burton, spins out of trouble, picks up the first down at the 31-yard line.
Boy, you talk about another. I talked about a game of inches. Johnson just about gets this ball. Look to the right of your screen. You're going to see Johnson come up in the air and just about takes that ball out there. Good concentration, looking in, now come down, and they move the chains. That's what you have to do. That's Burton. And one of the things that Rich Brooks told us is that Keenan Burton has got to step up today. He's got to have a big day at wide receiver.
He was one of the guys I said, who needs to have a really good offseason for you? And he said Keenan Burton. He needs to stay healthy. He missed 4 games with a broken foot. Curtis Pulley back in at quarterback. Takes a snap. He had some time. Fires. Pass is low, but caught by Scott Mitchell, the senior, out of League City, Texas, with his 23rd grab of the year.
Boy, you talk about a lot of time. Woodson steps up in the pocket. He's going to get a good block up front. Look at him just step there. Everybody's going around deep. Step up, drive that ball in there. That's a good series right there. I know it didn't go for a lot of yards. Excuse me, that's Pulley in there. I said Woodson. I apologize on that.
Scott Mitchell's first grab in 2 games. He had a streak of 19 straight games with a reception. Pulley dropped the moment he got the football. John Poe came in on a linebacker blitz and dropped Curtis Pulley for a loss of, say, 2 on the play.
When he saw it immediately, Pulley saw that. He saw that Poe was coming from the outside. And Poe is going to be right here. He's just going to come right underneath and get it. Watch this. Clear. Nobody there. Look at when Pulley pulls that ball down, he's got to run with it. And, you know, I watched Poe play a lot last week, and I said, hey, Kevin Simon owns that middle linebacker spot. And they said Kevin Simons is banged up. He's been hurt a lot this season.
Played through a lot of pain throughout his career, has Kevin Simon. Here's Drake Davis on a shovel pass that got a couple of yards, but a big hit at the line. Looked like Omar Gaither came in there and made the hit for the Volunteers. 44.
When Kentucky trying to do a lot of tricks right now, trying to move that football. This Tennessee team is well coached. They know their fundamentals, and Rich Brooks is trying to pull all the tricks out of the hat to try to get some offense, get that ball, move the chains, keep it away from Tennessee.
So it'll be 3rd down and 10. And it looks as though Andre Woodson is heading into the locker room. We'll get an update on that in a moment as Pulley stands in the pocket, fires to Raphael Little, makes a couple of guys miss. He's into Tennessee territory, and he has the first down. Antoine Stewart makes a tackle as we look at Andre Woodson leaving. Looks like a left shoulder injury. But here's the first down grab by Raphael Little.
Look at the time that Pulley stands in the pocket. Just has a lot of confidence in there. Now, darted down, good block downfield. Coming back as wide receiver, got a good block downfield. Pick up that first down, keep the chains. A lot of pressure on Pulley right now. He's had a lot of snaps, and he's run the ball 31 times, but he doesn't have Woodson to sit back there in case he gets into trouble.
Little quarterback draw. Here's a chance to see Pulley in action. Using his feet, picks up the first down. Pushed hard out of bounds to the far side. First down, Kentucky with 9:07 to go in the second quarter.
Boy, and I think Christian Johnson, number 78, gets a great block. Up the top of your screen, right up there. Right in there. You look at that block. That's Johnson right there, 78. Good kick on the outside now. Good block downfield. That's 22 Little. He gets a block downfield. That's when you're using the legs of your quarterback.
7th play of this drive. That one picked up 16. First and 10 from the 29. Here comes some heat again from Tennessee. Over the middle, pass is caught. Still on his feet is Tommy Cook. Down to the 12, make it the 11-yard line.
Well, missed tackles will kill you, and right now this is something that I've not seen Tennessee do, and that is missed tackles. When Tommy Cook catches his ball right to your screen, he's going to get hit right there. He gets hit, leveled down. That's Mahalona, 55. He breaks through that tackle right there, then gets another miss. Right there's a miss. Good night. That's Antoine Stewart, the strong safety. 2 missed tackles on 1 play for Tennessee.
Little quarterback keeper. Pulley down to the 5-yard line. That'll be a gain of about 6.5. Jason Mitchell and Jonathan Hefney bring him down. So that'll bring up a 2nd down and 3.
In on the play, Marvin Mitchell.
Go inside the red zone. Defensively for Tennessee last week, Vanderbilt able to score 4 touchdowns in 4 possessions. And that look at the red zone powered by Honda Generators for the ultimate tailgating experience.
Hey, you know what? I like this Pulley. I like the way he puts his head down and rams up there. He's not a sissy back there, quarterback. That time there, he did a bull just coming in there.
Pulley keeps it, swarmed by white jerseys, loses a yard or 2. Marvin Mitchell led the charge for the Vols.
And Dave, that was going to be that little toss underneath. It was covered, and Pulley had no decision to make. He had to just go outside and just eat it.
Well, let's go downstairs, check in with Dave Baker as more on Andre Woodson.
Yeah, Dave, I had a chance to talk with Darren Johnson, UK team physician. He said Woodson had sprained the AC joint in his non-throwing shoulder. I said, what's the AC joint? He said, it's the one right here. So they're putting a pad on him. He'll be back in. But how much he's back in could depend on how well Curtis Pulley continues to play.
Thank you, Buzz. Pulley drops back, throwing to Little. He's to the 5. Down to the 2, and he might have the first down. He's got to get just inside the 2 for the first down. Marvin Mitchell made the stop, and let's see where the spot is. And the crowd boos. I don't think they like the spot.
Well, you want to get the hands you want to get the ball in the hands of Raphael Little. And that's exactly what Pulley does. He's just going to dump it right there. Now let him run through. And let's see where he goes down, right? There's his, oh, that's a good call. You see where his knee was down? He fell down at the 1-yard line, but watch where the ball is when his knee hits. Right there. The ball is back in this area here. It's not up on the 6-inch line.
That first down marker's at about the 1.5. I don't know. That spot's kind of tricky.
Well,
Kim Anderson, our spotter, says it's a good spot. I'll go with him. He's had LASIK eye surgery.
Yeah, I was going to help Buzz out. That AC joint, I know that real well. It's the acromioclavicular. How you like that, buddy?
Well, yes, sir. On 4th and 1, actually 4th and inches, Rich Brooks says, what the heck, let's go for it.
Sure. He did it out in midfield. Why not?
Down 14-3, last game of the year. You got to try to stuff it in there. They missed on their only 4th down try today, but a flag is down. Pulley got the first down.
Now, big question, is somebody move on offense, or was it encroachment where they're in the zone?
If you wait just a damn
Oh.
penalty will be 5 yards.
And now you go to 4th and 6. I say, why not?
Well, they're looking here. Oh, you know what? Look right on the Rich Brooks. He's just saying, what am I going to do? Watch right in here, that area right there. Watch the flinch. See, right? Oh, yeah, right there. Absolutely.
Like tight end with a flinch.
Yeah. Boy, and that's huge. That is so big. I mean, you're talking about 7 points, almost guaranteed.
Kentucky, the second least penalized team in the league this year. They've really improved in that department, but that time they got bitten by the false start. Now Taylor Begley comes on to attempt, we think, to attempt the field goal. Begley misses for the first time in 9 tries his last attempt from 43. This one from 25 yards.
Talked about the gifts. They got 2 great gifts. Now they've had a drive down in there. They look like they're going to get a first down. They're going to have to settle for a field goal.
Begley drills it through the uprights, but not what the Kentucky faithful had been looking for. 6:14 to go before halftime. Tennessee leads 14-6. Back after a word from your local stations. Tennessee leading Kentucky 14-6. 6:14 to go before halftime. Take a look at that scoring drive that went 11 plays. 5 minutes, 17 seconds. They go 73 yards, but only a field goal for Kentucky. The upside of that is Curtis Pooley, 5 out of 5, 47 yards on that drive.
Yeah, that's the upside, but you cannot get 3 gifts. Tennessee is not going to keep on giving you gifts like they've given in this first half. You get those opportunities, you got to get touchdowns.
You know, they had a great drive in the first quarter last week against Georgia, did Kentucky. Marched it over 8 minutes. They get down in the red zone. They stalled out, had to settle for 3 points, and then Georgia took over from that point on. Lucas Taylor at the goal line. Tripped up at the 15-yard line. Adam Ritchie makes the stop on special teams for the Wildcats. Well, dreaming of a new plasma TV? Yes, Dave Rowe is. Gaming system? Yes, Dave Rowe. How about a laptop computer, Dave Rowe? Sure.
Yeah.
Well, we all won $1 million. Well, Bell South is giving one lucky fan the chance to win it all during halftime at this year's Chick-fil-A Peach Bowl. Log on to BellSouthSports.com to enter the 2005 Bell South Kick for $1 Million sweepstakes, and you can win an extreme bundle of home entertainment equipment and a cool $1 million. That would pretty much cover me for Christmas. Here's Foster, missed tackle by Kentucky. He gets it out over the 20 to the 21-yard line. That'll be about 4 yards shy of the first down.
And Dave, I thought it interesting when in our conversation with Rich Brooks yesterday, head coach, I said, well, coach, what's the key to the game? He said, survive the second quarter. He said, we just want to get through the second quarter. It's been an incredible second quarter for them.
Yeah, they have been just hammered in the second quarter all year long, and he doesn't even know the answers to all the problems in the second quarter. But you know, this is one of the most, when you look at the numbers, 138 to 40 they've been outscored.
That's surviving the second quarter.
I mean, they've been pretty good in all the other quarters. He says, you know, and he says, as a coach, I've been in this business a long time. They've talked about it and they just don't know why.
Yeah, they went back and looked and saw if it was field position. They said that no. They saw turnovers. Well, wasn't that? He had no answers.
Here's Foster. He's got running room. First down and then some. Arian Foster cuts it back to the middle. A flag is down. Foster will score another lengthy touchdown, but a flag right in front of the Tennessee sideline.
That may be a hold by Brett Smith, number 9. If it is, Philip Fulmer and his staff, they're going to go berserk. See the officials discussing it.
Arian Foster's already had a 65-yard run called back for illegal motion, and now he has this one come back, and this one goes about 67 yards.
Holding, number 9 on the offense. Penalty will be 10 yards from the spot of the foul. Down results in a first down.
Now, they got pressure. They got a blitz on them. And look how Ames reads that blitz and dumps that football. That's Roger Williams on the blitz. Now he dumps the ball out here to the left. Now watch what Arian Foster does with it. Right in here. Now there's going to be the hole. Let's watch that play right there. You're locked up with him. Oh, look at the hand. You see that left hand? Oh, he's got those hands wrapped around him. That's David Jones that's being held. Oh.
It is a first down, however, at midfield for Tennessee. This time, the Wildcats read the quick pass to Chris Hannon. Bo Smith all over it. And talking to Mike Archer, he said that Bo Smith, best player on defense, just the best all-around athlete. Let's go down to Dave Baker for an all-tell sideline report.
Boy, Dave, you just saw that run by Arian Foster. I think it's indicative of what's happened in the league this year and what offensive coordinators are trying to do. They identify their playmakers, and how do you get the ball to them the most times? I mean, a guy like Foster Foster, a guy like McFadden, a guy like Raphael Little. That seems to be the key this year, getting it to him, and as we saw in the pregame, have those big guys make a big play.
David Yancey gets the handoff. He'll pick up the first down as he drives it inside the 40 down to the 36-yard line, and a late flag came in after the play. Yancey only his 10th carry all season long. So Corey Williams, a freshman out of Louisiana, is banged up. They had him listed at second team, but he's not playing today.
Oh, that's dead ball, personal foul, both sides. I think it was 52 on Tennessee.
Is it after the play?
Yes, dead ball.
After the play is over, personal foul, 36 on the blue and 81 on the white. By rule, these penalties will offset. The play results in a first down.
Thank you, Penn.
Yeah.
So that'll be another first down for the Tennessee offense. Yancey stays in at tailback. Olbert, your fullback.
And let me apologize to Rob Smith. He's that big junior guard, number 52. He wasn't holding. He didn't do anything.
Yancey gets 2 on the carry. B.J. Parsons brings him down.
B.J. Parsons.
A couple of scores for you as Maryland 7-3 second quarter. Both those teams looking for a bowl game, and Iowa State now back in front of Kansas. A win by the Cyclones puts them in the Big 12 title game against Texas. My partner from last week, Dave Archer, Iowa State player, former quarterback.
He's happy to see that.
Yes.
Yeah, very happy.
Hasn't been a whole lot to cheer about for Iowa State in football since Dave left. I don't even know if there was much to cheer about then.
Oh, he's listening.
Yeah, why not? David Yancey hit by Trey Melch.
Not even here to defend himself.
Well, I figure that's the good time to take a shot, right? When they're not here.
Yeah. Take a shot and run.
We're under 3 minutes to go. There's Randy Sanders. It's kind of a play calling by committee for Tennessee. Randy still locked in despite the fact this is his last game as an assistant coach for the Vols. 3rd and 5.
Coming with pressure.
Parsons misses Ainge. Eric pump fakes, tries to run for it, dives, and he's short. Good coverage downfield by Kentucky. Forces Ainge to try to pick it up with his legs.
Yeah, I think it was Parsons' first 54 that comes outside. Yeah, he doesn't get him there. Now he's chasing. But how about Ainge directing down there, and at the tail end, see, fake pumps. Now watch the tail end of this. You talk about commitment. He's trying to make that first down, driving out, diving out there. I like that. Players respect that, and they respond to it.
Well, they'll go for it, Dave, on 4th and 3, 2:27 to play before halftime.
Now, if you're Mike Archer, do you bring pressure? If I'm Kentucky, I think I'd bring somebody. I wouldn't let him sit back there and pick me apart.
Pass is caught over the middle by Brett Smith. First down, Tennessee. Drive is still alive.
And I want to tell you, they brought pressure. We see Woodson coming back in. That's good to see, that left shoulder sprain. But Ainge, watch this pressure. He does a little fake pump right there, gets a defender off his back and throws underneath him. Nice pressure right there, but a good delivery. It was Johnny Williams who got that pressure right there. You see, when you jump, you're stuck. You're right in midair. And Ainge just brings that ball down, looks and finds his receiver.
Boy, Ainge, 13 out of 17. He hands it off here to Foster inside the 20 down to the 19-yard line. Under 2 minutes to go.
And Dave, it's almost like you're getting the feeling of what Philip Fulmer wanted at his quarterback position. The reason he chose Eric Ainge in the beginning of preseason. Stretch the field, that little flick. He's got great strength in his arm. Now if he can come up with the leadership and continue this confidence, I think they may have a quarterback for next year.
Well, he needed to step up, I think, as we said in the open, for the confidence of not only him, but his teammates and coaches.
Absolutely.
11th play of this drive coming up. Ainge, quick drop, throws near side. Pass is caught by Meacham. He's inside the 15. Down to the 14-yard line. Wesley Woodyard with his 5th tackle of the game. Look at our red zone numbers. Tennessee offensively last week. We're in there 6 times. 3 touchdowns, 1 field goal, and that wasn't enough against the Volunteers in that red zone. Powered by Honda Generators for the ultimate tailgating experience. We've got a timeout on the field. 1:12 to go before halftime. Tennessee driving. SEC football is brought to you in part by your local Toyota dealers. Eric Ainge, 7 out of his last 7 for 96 yards as Tennessee continues to drive it down the field on Kentucky with 1:12 to go before intermission. Ainge over the middle, passes, caught and dropped. C.J. Phaeton bobbled it as he hit the turf, and it's ruled incomplete.
No way should that ball have been dropped. Phaeton is a sure-handed senior receiver. You got to catch this. Number 17, look at him coming right up there. Watch this. This ball, this is perfect.
Oh, what a throw.
Exactly. And
he's got to make that catch.
You got to make that. I mean, he's a senior. You got to help your quarterback out. I mean, he's having a great day, but that is well delivered.
Attempting 31-yard field goal.
So a 31-yard field goal attempt on the way from James Wilhoit, who was 12 out of 17 this year, as long as 46. Spot is good. The kick is even better.
Wilhoit's kick is good.
So Wilhoit puts 3 more on the board for Tennessee. 17-6, the Volunteers lead with 58 seconds to go before halftime. We'll return after these messages from Tennessee and Kentucky. I've never heard that. 15 minutes and you got 99 yards.
They got it at the 20, one time on the phone. They got it at the 30.
Tennessee over Kentucky, 58 seconds to go in our All-Tel SEC game of the week.
Will Charles Denzik. Charles Denzik, please report.
Kentucky, to this point, has had the football for 15 minutes and they have 99 yards.
That's incredible.
Tennessee has had the ball for 14 minutes, and they have 239 yards, and it's really been all Eric Ainge in this one. 14 out of 19 for 201 yards and a couple of TDs, and it should have been 3 as Wilhoit kicks it off. David Jones on the kickoff return. Jones hit, and he dropped the football. Well, it looked like he did, but he held on, and he got hit hard. And he is slow to get up.
Tackled by Poe and Reynolds.
He has to run this back to see he has that foot out in the field of play, and he just starts getting caught running left to right. When you start running that east to west, you're not going to pick up yards.
Antonio Reynolds, a sophomore out of Akron, Ohio, is the last man to come in and put a hit on him. We'll be back after a message from Kentucky. Take another look at this kickoff return. David Jones.
You watch that head snap back. Right in here. Look at this right there. See that head snap back down to the ground? That hurts. It's a hit.
The freshman out of Huddy, Kentucky, with 20 tackles this year. Let's check in with Dave Baker. Buzz?
Dave, the thing you're always looking for is movement. Trainer Jim Madalino, Darren Johnson, the UK team orthopedist, they're out there. Darren just trying to shake it out right now. Not only did he take that helmet-to-helmet hit, but they've been looking at the lower extremities as well, and they're in the position now of trying to get him up. It may have been one of those combo injuries where he took that big shot, and they continue to look at the looks like the lower left leg. But good to see movement. He's up and trying to shake it off and getting ready to get off the football field, and that's a good sign right there.
Probably the most dangerous aspect in any sport is kickoff return team.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, you got these 260-pound guys flying down the football field. And in the case of, Antonio Reynolds, he's 6'3", 250, running about a 4.8 40, coming 100 miles an hour at you. And I know this, I wouldn't want to be on the kickoff return team. And injuries have just been mounting since the beginning of fall practice. They've had 19 surgeries since August. 6 of the players have been lost for the season. 17 starters or key reserves have missed. Look at that, a total of 72 games. And as Rich Brooks told us yesterday that we all talk about the guys who aren't playing, but you don't even take into account the number of players that are hurting at this point in the season. That handoff gets nothing to Alexis Begingi. This fall, watch for the Geico College Football Campus Tour, a season-long traveling exhibit celebrating the 10 greatest quarterbacks of all time, which will include my buddy Dave Archer, I'm sure, from Iowa State.
Oh, yeah.
I'm trying to make up right now. Go to jbsports.com for more information and to find out when Geico will be visiting a college campus near you. I am in so much trouble, it's not even funny.
Dave Archer, you got one vote. At least.
Right. Out of the I formation. Here's Raphael Little. He's got some running room. Raphael, that's a first down over the 30, but that'll more than likely be the last play. The clock will stop for the chains to move, but I have a feeling that we'll see the white and blue jerseys head to their respective locker rooms, but a timeout taken by Kentucky.
Play some football.
Brooks and Dunn just keep rolling along. Last week, Kix and Ronnie hosted the Country Music Award show and took home honors for Best Country Duo once again. This past Tuesday, they won their 5th favorite country duo or group honors in the American Music Awards ceremony. So congrats to our boys Ronnie and Kix for another great year of music. Of course, don't forget to stop in your local record store to get their latest album, Hillbilly Deluxe, which hit #1 on the country chart soon after its release in August. Their hit single, Play Something Country, also made #1. Now listen for their new hit single, Believe. And this has been a tough break for Kentucky to lose a true freshman and David Jones, who's heading off to the locker room. Let's check in with Dave Baker.
Hey, Dave, on the Brooks and Dunn thing, 13 times now they've been the CMA Duo of the Year. We had a chance to go down to Little Rock and do the deal with them. Great guys, a great year, and it was great to have them a part of JP football all season long.
Willie going deep. Last throw, looking for Keenan Burton. He catches it out of bounds, however. Yeah, it was great to be the Brooks and Dunn in there. They did the open for us all year long, and we got to be in my first music video, so thanks to those guys.
17, Kentucky 6.
And there's their trophy they won at the Country Music Association. So congrats to those guys. Dave Baker is hustling along the sidelines. Let's check in with him. Buzz.
Philip, Eric had a great first half. He had 2 balls. He zipped in there. Should have had a 3rd touchdown at the end of the half.
Eric's played pretty well. You know, we've got to stop with the penalty business, and cost him a bunch of yards and us a couple of touchdowns, but hopefully we'll come out and keep playing well.
2005 regular season, 17-6 in Lexington. Dave Baker back here with you field side as we head back up top to the guys who'll bring you home in the second half, Dave Neal and Dave Rowe. Guys, when we talked with Philip Fulmer, we opened this regular season with the Vols taking on the UAB Blazers. I think what we're seeing today is the Eric Ainge that the Tennessee coaches thought they had when they began this season.
Buzz, there is no doubt that this is the best performance for Eric Ainge in 2005. It's almost reminiscent of last year before he had the shoulder injury against Notre Dame, and he's really found a real good rhythm, I think, and the offense has responded. They've moved the football to the tune of 239 yards in the first half.
Yeah, he's been very, very, very sharp, and even the passes he has not completed, Dave, he has been right on. Had at least 2 drops. He'd have been 16 for 19 in that first half.
Pretty flawless, to say the least. Take a look at those first half highlights.
Well, it's been a highlights of sometimes mistakes, but not with Eric Ainge. Throws that first one to Meacham, and Meacham just took it off for a 55-yard score, and that started a little bit of an onslaught. Great hit right there by Drake Davis to get the ball, gave him good field position. Kentucky has had field position twice, and they've only come away with 6 points. The 2 field goal tries. And you've got to score when you get an opportunity, and Tennessee did as they completed that one to Hannon, and that raised the score. But Woodson came back. He got a good little tip right there. He got a good little hit, I should say, and he came back, kicked another field goal. So, you know, they're in this football game, but you've got to take advantage when your defense is playing that strong as Tennessee's is. You've got to be able to move the football and score touchdowns.
16 minutes of time of possession for QK, just 116 yards, only 43 of those on the ground, and 2 turnovers by Tennessee, and Kentucky couldn't do much with those.
That's the biggest key in the game is those 2 turnovers because Kentucky only got 6 points off them. You got to get better than that.
Let's take a look at our Toyota keys to the game and revisit your thoughts.
Well, we talked about awesome Arian Foster, and he's not been awesome. He's had 9 carries, only 24 yards. He's not been a real factor for Tennessee. But Eric Ainge has been. We thought that it would take Foster to take the pressure off Ainge. Ainge has responded. And little things make a difference. Little really hasn't been a huge factor in this game.
Arian Foster has had a 70-yard pass reception called back and a 60-yard touchdown run called back. What's in store? Halftime is over. Tennessee and Kentucky getting ready to resume second half action. Let's check in with Dave Baker.
Bunch, you just got to get it across the goal line.
Well, we've had some chances and not capitalized with touchdowns. And against a team like this, you need 7s, not 3s.
All right, thanks, Rich. We appreciate it. Rich Brooks, Dave.
Thank you, Buzz. As on overcast, cool day in Lexington, Kentucky. We'll see what Andre Woodson has for us. He left the game and went to the locker room with a shoulder injury, came back out, threw the football a few moments, and then first half came to a conclusion. So we don't know how much, if any, he will play, but Curtis Pulley certainly did a nice job. He rushed 6 times for 20 yards. He was 6 of 7 for 51 yards through the air. So I'm thinking to myself,
yeah, let him in. Let him stay.
Right.
Why do you change him? Exactly. But with Woodson, what happens when you go in, and people might say it's the left hand, the left shoulder, that still affects him.
Well, joining us now is I would assume a happy man. LSU's head football coach, Les Miles. He is with us on the phone and back in Baton Rouge. And first of all, Coach Miles, congratulations on winning the SEC Western Division Championship. I know it was a hard-fought game yesterday, but you're able to win the SEC Western Division Championship, and congrats on that. Your thoughts about what this team has accomplished, because when we talked to you at the beginning of the season, Coach, this was a different scenario than where we are now.
I can barely hear you, just to let you know, but this football team has really achieved, and irrespective of the hurdles, irrespective of the storm, irrespective of a short week or an emotional loss early in the season, this football team has the character, has the resolve to be the team that they're capable of being. Certainly, they want to represent the state of Louisiana and the SEC West well in the championship game.
Well, Coach, yesterday your defense once again was just unbelievable. You shut down an Arkansas offense that was really running the ball well, 56 yards on the ground. I mean, was that the key yesterday to picking up the win over Arkansas?
No question. If our defense really had a penchant in that game for understanding that Arkansas's main their main threat to us was running the football, and so they kind of grinded their teeth on the fact that they were going to stop that Arkansas running game, and they were stingy the whole day, and really in a day where offensively we were not operating as well as we'd like. That defense came on the field and won for us.
Yeah, they were something special. A couple of questions before we let you go. And first off, your thoughts about being in the SEC this year, if you've run through the regular season now. Your thoughts about this league after 3 months of playing in this, I guess, environment.
Well, the environment is emotionally charged. Everybody in the South loves SEC football. I can't imagine that there are many venues in conferences across our country that are as exciting to play as right here in the SEC. And I think athletically and talent-wise, I think from top to bottom, the schools of our conference are laden with talent and have ability. And I think the best teams in the SEC will compete with the best teams in any conference across the country.
Well, you've run through the SEC West. Your team is certainly on a roll. Now you face a team that you didn't see during the regular season, the Georgia Bulldogs, for the SEC championship. And obviously Georgia has some weapons. I'm assuming you guys have already started to kind of game plan. It's only been, what, less than 24 hours since you got off the football field. But your thoughts about that matchup next weekend in Atlanta?
Well, I think it's going to be exciting. You know, they are a very talented team. Their quarterback's back healthy now and playing well. You know, they're really little or few weaknesses in their offense, defense, or special teams. I think it's going to be a great matchup. We're looking forward to it. I think every team, you know, at the beginning of the year, looks to be in the championship game, and certainly we look forward to facing Georgia in that game.
Well, Coach Miles, certainly not an envious position you were placed in to start this season, but congrats on just a marvelous run with your LSU Tigers this year.
Appreciate it. This is a quality team. I'm very fortunate to be the head coach at LSU.
All right. Well, we will see you in Atlanta next weekend for the SEC championship game. Be sure to join me if you can at the SEC Coaches Luncheon.
Well, that'd be great. I look forward to seeing you there as well.
All right, Coach. Thank you very much. Have a good one. So we will spend some time at the Coaches Luncheon with Les Miles, get more in depth with his football team and the Georgia matchup. And Mark Richt will join us there as well Friday afternoon at the Hyatt Regency. Hope you can come by. But as we underway here in the third quarter, Dave, Kentucky really needs to do something with the football. We've talked about field goal after field goal, but you know, you've got to put it in the end zone.
Yeah, exactly. And Rich Brooks summed it up. You got to get 7s, not 3s. You can't be 3 and out, 3 and out, 3 and out. You see it a number of times, 3 and 4 and out. You can't do that against the Tennessee team if you expect to win. You've got to consistently move the chains.
And that is caught by Jacob Tamme, and that will be good enough for a first down. So they are going to move the chains.
Absolutely. Back-to-back, Dave. They moved it twice in that series. So for Rich Brooks, it's got to be a good series, good adjustments.
So Curtis Pulley continues to get the job done at quarterback, and he's played wide receiver. They've tried to get him the football, Dave. He hasn't been I would say sitting on the sidelines all year watching. So he's been hit, knocked around a little bit. That's got to help.
Yeah, and one of the things I liked when you asked Rich Brooks, you said, now, what does he have to do? He said, is he going to sit the bench? And he said, no, he's not going to sit the bench. He'll be somewhere out there on that field.
Well, Kentucky had a couple of injuries right before halftime, and let's check in, get an update on those with Dave Baker.
Yeah, Dave, as we told you before, Andre Woodson has got that sprain of his AC joint in his left shoulder. He's got a pad on. He is available. I think the way Curtis Pulley's playing right now is keeping him on the sidelines. David Jones, who took that big hit on the kickoff, they've x-rayed his left ankle. He's out right now awaiting results of that x-ray.
Thank you very much, Buzz. On top of, might be Buzz's best game all year.
Hey, he's sharp. He's home.
Oh, that little shovel pass did not work very well. Tennessee had scoped that out, and that loses a couple.
Yeah, it doesn't work when you get penetration like Mahalona does 55. He just breaks through the line. You'll see him come up here, and Harrelson, too. They came up there, and they just broke it down. Stick on the outside there. A little chicken fight going on there. You see number 4 out there.
You know, Mahalona's tackles only 34 this year. He has 8 tackles for loss and a couple of sacks. But if you watch any game tape, folks, he is being double and triple teamed, which has allowed guys like Paris Harrelson and Jason Hall to have career seasons.
Absolutely. And talking with John Chavis, you asked him, you said, what happened to Jesse Mahalona this year? He said, well, you've got 2 on him this year all the time. Oh.
Pass is caught by Keenan Burton on the far side. That's another Kentucky first down.
Good play-action play. He just rolls out strong on the play. He rolls out top of your screen. You're going to see just drive him off and then just turn right back inside. Look at this ball. Delivered well. That was an excellent pass. And he got that first down marker. He drove the defender off and then curled back in, and the pass was right there.
9 plays, 34 yards. Closing in on 4 minutes with this drive.
Yeah, all those 3 and outs in the first half. This is a good sustained drive. Move the chains, first downs. But you need touchdowns.
Oh, no. Miscommunication. Pulley pays the price. 4 white jerseys got a lick on him as Robert Ayers finally will get credit for that tackle. The freshman Clio, South Carolina.
Boy, that is a lonely feeling if you're a quarterback. You hold that ball out, and he just kind of held it out there going, anybody want it? Boy, anybody want it? Look, you want it? No. You want it? Oh gosh. And now, look at Tennessee react, come back in there.
Curtis Pulley, the freshman from Hopkinsville, Kentucky, came into this game 8 out of 17 for 53 yards this year in limited time as the quarterback. And now he is 9 out of 11. That shovel pass gets nothing. Pushed out of bounds on the far side by Kevin Simon. Getting bumped around by some blue jerseys.
I'll tell you, I've seen Kevin Simon. You don't want to mess around with Kevin Simon. That man is put together. It's a physical game. He shoved him, yes. It was out of bounds, yes. But I'll tell you this, that shuffle pass, that little pass underneath is not working because they're crushing the line up in there. There's no place to throw it. You have to have a zone. You have to have a cut where he can come underneath. You're hoping that you... Oh, there's that little push at the tail end that caused all the commotion. But I think I'd have... You know what? If you're a white shirt over there, there was a lot of blue shirts over there. But I think Kevin Simon can take care of himself.
3rd down and 9.
Here's the big down for Pulley. Here comes pressure.
Raphael Little making some people miss, and he picks up a 1st down. Jonathan Hefney makes the tackle, but good play call by the Kentucky staff. They saw the pressure coming and dumped it off to the man who can make a lot of people miss.
Absolutely, and I think you have to credit Pulley for holding in there. This is a screen. You see underneath right there. Now turn around, and Pulley just sold him on the play. He didn't fake it early or do anything with it. Again, he just took that football. He held it. He's got him running down his throat. He dumps it over their head. And you're right. You get it to Raphael Little. He can make people miss. And that time he made Hefney, number 33, miss.
Raphael Little, 180 all-purpose yards per game. That's his average, which is 1st in the league, 4th in the country. Hand off to the right side, goes to Drake Davis. Davis trying to turn the corner. He does get the edge and picks up 8, maybe 9, before he's run out of bounds by Johnson and Stewart. That'll bring up a 2nd and very short. This will be I guess, an offensive coordinator's dream call. They love this. Other side of the field, 2nd and short. You really open up your entire playbook.
Absolutely. You can fake that ball, put a little play action in there, come out. You can do a lot of different things. You've got that 3rd and 4th down. This is 4-down territory.
I say take a chance at the end zone.
Yeah, absolutely. Why not? He's got some wideouts. He's got him split. He's got a slot to the bottom side here, and he's got one single receiver up at the top.
A quarterback draw. That'll pick up the 1st down.
Quarterback draw.
To about the 16.5-yard line. Tripped up by Justin Harrell. That's the 3rd stop for Justin today. This is reminiscent of Georgia's the Kentucky drive against Georgia last week in the 1st quarter when they chewed up a ton of time off the clock. You look at the red zone last week against Georgia. Only 1 touchdown in 3 possessions in that red zone. Look, powered by Honda generators for the ultimate tailgating experience. 15th play of this drive.
No, this is a great drive, but you can't settle for a field goal. You've got to have a touchdown.
Trying to set up the screen. They do so. Bagingi to the 10, run out of bounds. That's a gain of 7 on the play. An injured player, an offensive lineman. That looks like Matt McCutcheon, the center. The senior out of Lebanon, Ohio, who transferred in from the Naval Academy. He was bothered by injuries there, missed a couple of seasons. Transferred to Kentucky and actually walked on to this program and has really developed into a good center for this Wildcat football team. We'll return after this message from Pontiac and the G6 driving experience.
Welcome back to the Alltel SEC Game of the Week. There you see senior center Matt McCutcheon. He re-rolled his right ankle. He already had more tape on it than Dave Rowe got at Penn State in a season, but they're putting more on it, and he's going to be back in. Watch a snap here, though, Dave Neal, because you got a new center down here in the red zone for the Cats.
Travis Slayton comes in, the junior from Texas. We'll snap it back to Pulley, who's in the shotgun. Little quarterback keeper. Drop the football. It's loose. Still loose, and Tennessee have it. Are you kidding me? 3 blue jerseys had a chance to pick up that football, and nobody could corral it.
Well, that's because they tried to pick it up and run with it. You got to just fall on that ball. Golly, you can't do this. You cannot turn the football over. You've just driven the ball 70 yards or better. You got a quarterback sneak in, and it's stuffed at the line right there. They ripped the ball out. Now look, they see they tried to pick it up. That's exactly what was wrong. They tried to pick the football up as it was fumbled. And for Pulley, you got to put that ball away. It's called ball security.
Paris Harrelson forced a fumble. Kevin Simon picked it up, and now Tennessee takes over, and that was 16 plays on that drive that results in nothing. The opening drive of the 3rd quarter. Here's the handoff. Arian Foster trying to get the corner. Not much happening there, but a flag comes down, and Dave Baker down on the sidelines. Interesting that we had this conversation yesterday with Joker Phillips about these lengthy drives and his thoughts on those.
Yeah, great point, Dave. A lot of offensive coordinators say, you know, once they look at their charts and it gets to 6, 7, 8 plays in a drive, they want to take a shot because it's kind of like being at one of those casino tables. The more you play, the more the odds go against you that something like that's going to happen. And so Joker said he's caught himself trying to take a shot at times.
Penalty will be half the distance to the goal. Down remains one.
So we'll play first down. But, yeah, but 16 plays, and not once did they try to take a shot at the end zone.
Exactly. They were willing to just chip it away, Dave. But, you know, most offenses stop themselves. I mean, they have a holding call. They have an offsides, a flinch.
Tennessee's done it 4 times today. The other times, when they haven't stopped themselves, they've marched it down the field.
Exactly. This is a huge series, especially for the defense right now of Kentucky. If they can stop them here, they'll get the ball back.
And off right guard. Foster out over the 10 to the 12-yard line. That'll be a gain of about 4 on the play for Arian Foster. Arian today, 10 carries. I'll give him 6 on that. My eyes are deceiving me. 10 carries, 30 yards now for Arian Foster. A little bit different than the 40 for 223 last week.
Exactly. And I'm looking for Ainge right now. I want to see how he comes out in this first series here. What's he going to do with the football? It's a passing situation. 2nd and 8 yards. I want to watch that confidence, see if he still has it. Oh, he draws.
Out to the 19-yard line goes Arian Foster, so that'll bring up a 3rd down and short. There is, you see Rick Clausen.
Yep.
Still, we saw him in warm-ups, and he was hobbling around. I mean, it is. He could play in a needed situation, and you know he wants to play, but he is just hobbled. Got hurt in the last play of the game.
Yeah. In that last week in Vandy. And you know what's interesting? He and Eric Ainge are great friends. I mean, there's nobody's pulling more for Eric Ainge than Rick Clausen.
Couple of tight ends. Here's Foster off the left side. Needs a couple. Doesn't get it. Fumbled football, and Kentucky has it, but it will be down. I was going to say it's down at the 19-yard line, which is still good news for Kentucky, as it'll bring up 4th down at about 2.5.
Wow. This could have really turned this football game back to Kentucky's way. Ball was ripped out. Now they make him run along the line. They don't allow him to turn up. And Foster gets to the outside right. Oh, he's definitely down. Yes, that's an easy call. The official made a good call right there. Again, when that knee is down, and right there, that knee is down, ball comes out afterwards, no doubt.
Britton Colquitt to punt it away. Kentucky has blocked 6 kicks, 3 punts, and 3 field goal attempts. And this is an outstanding kick. Tight spiral that turns over and sends Little back to the 27. Raphael Little now out over the 40. A 53-yard kick. Brad Cottom, tight end, able to bring him down. Timeout on the field. Back after this. Look at that Tennessee bench on a cool day. Boy, it was cold when we got off the airplane yesterday. It was down in the teens here in Lexington, but apparently warmed up. Apparently, someone said in the 50s, but I'd like to see what they were drinking before the game.
It's not the 50s today. Rich Brooks said 13 on Turkey Day. Woo!
And he had his club out there practicing in the morning. Here's Pulley. throwing on the run and throws it out of bounds, and not a bad idea. And that's a play that Coach Rich Brooks had told us that Andre Woodson had not made. There are times where he would have taken the sack in that situation.
It's called game management. That's what he wants. He wants him to manage the game and make good decisions. That time he was going to get dropped for about a 6-7 yard loss. He didn't. Threw it off.
You see Kentucky today inside the red zone. 2 field goals. They missed a field goal and then put the football on the ground. You can't go in there 4 times and only have 6 points and expect to win.
Well, Tennessee doesn't let you score much in the third quarter either. They are incredible in that third quarter. I think they've only allowed 18 points.
Little makes some people miss. He'll pick up the first down and then some. He's to the 32-yard line, but a flag down at the 45 of Kentucky. Jonathan Hefney tripped him up, but we'll see if the play stands.
You see Rich Brooks looking over there. All the Kentucky players and the coaches were looking over there, and when they saw that hand in the back, or hold I should say, man, they all just looked up in the air.
Illegal block in the back. Number 79 on the offense. Penalty will be 10 yards. It will be second down.
Kentucky had a block in the back on a punt return for 75 yards last week against Georgia. That cost him a touchdown. This wasn't a touchdown, but nonetheless a big play.
Yeah, watch on the right side of your screen. You're going to see a block in the back. When he throws the ball back, right there, you see the block right in the back right there. It's a good call. It's a good call. And it's Gary Williams, the left tackle, who did it on Marvin Mitchell, number 40.
So second down and 19 now after the big gain is nullified. Bully over the middle. Raphael Little is stuck at the 40-yard line. Omar Gaither was the first man there, but then Marvin Mitchell came flying in and laid the wood to Raphael. Marvin, 6'3", about 255, just a junior out of Norfolk, Virginia.
Yeah, and he took the place of Jason Mitchell. You remember who had that ACL tear and worked all the way through the season at linebacker and got operated on last week. I know that was a loss, except Marvin Mitchell Jr. gets a chance to play.
Boy, both these teams have had penalties that have nullified some big plays. Arian Foster's had a couple of touchdowns called back. Raphael Little's had some big gains called back.
A lot of time.
Bully stands in there, fires near side. Pass is caught by Tommy Cook, whose dad moved in from Texas for the season and lives in a camper here in Lexington. A great story that his dad just decided to pick up Tommy Cook, a 6th-year senior. His dad comes and says, you know what, I'm just going to get a camper and I'm going to head over to Lexington and spend the year with my boy.
Well, I enjoyed watching my son play football. Let me tell you, it's a real thrill. I remember seeing Rick Clausen's family fly in every week from California and to watch the games. That's a real thrill. Those are moments you never forget, my friend. You're getting ready to have another one, so you may be watching that in a few years.
48 hours. The clock is ticking, brother. High end over end wobbly kick, flag down. Way back at the 34-yard line. It's a 37-yard punt. Had good hang time. Yeah, my wife is watching. Let me just say, I don't have my phone on me, baby. So if you call, I'm not going to pick it up.
Yeah. Well, would your wife do? You're going to have the baby Monday.
Monday morning.
Ah, Monday morning. That's wonderful, and what a thrill.
Thank you. Old against Tennessee. That is yet another penalty against the Volunteers. That is 7.
And look at Philip Fulmer's face.
8 penalties. Let's check in with Dave Baker. Buzz.
Dave Rowe, I would submit to you that after Mary Margaret has his second baby, hang on a second.
20 on the receiving team, it will be from the kicker in half the distance to the goal. First down.
That after she has that second child, and if it's not sleeping, that Dave may be wanting to get a motorhome of his own here in a few weeks.
I might move in with Tommy Cook's dad. Who knows? Save me some space, Mr. Cook. And we will have a timeout here with Tennessee leading Kentucky 17-6. Back after word from your local stations. Left in this third stanza of our season finale. From JP Sports, of course, the championship game of the Southeastern Conference next Saturday from the Georgia Dome. That handoff goes to Foster. Not much happening on a 1st and 10 carry, brought down by Bo Smith.
Boy, Bo Smith just darted in. He was playing cornerback on that play. He just darted in from his cornerback. They know right now that Tennessee's going to try to run the football. They want to control the clock. I'm waiting for Ainge to get a little bit warm and start throwing that football again.
1st and 10 line presented by Nexium, the purple pill. Yeah, I'm not mistaken. I don't think Ainge has thrown a pass here in the 3rd quarter. 14 out of 19. He hasn't thrown a pass yet. 14 out of 19, 201. All came in the first half. Now he throws it.
Pretty.
They should keep throwing it the way he's going. Robert Meacham with the grab. Now 15 out of 20. That'll be a first down.
And if you count the 2 passes he had dropped, the touchdown pass and the other one, he'd be 17 to 20. That's pretty strong stats.
The Egg Bowl has started as we look at our Aaron scoreboard, and Ole Miss on top of Mississippi State. 2 teams that would just as soon get this season over with and look to 2006. NC State by a field goal over Maryland, and Iowa State hanging on over Kansas, looking for that Big 12 title game appearance against Texas. Here's Foster. He's got some running room to the 35, and he's tripped up there. That tackle made by Muhammad Abdullah.
Good blocks up front. Nice block there by Rich Gandy, number 74. Richie Gandy gets a good block. Right guard is going to get a good block on that play. See, well, you didn't really see him in there. He knocked him down, but he's got a good block on the outside. I really like the way Foster runs. I want to tell you something. I know that they lost Gerald Riggs, and that was a huge loss, but Foster has stepped up for him, I should say.
Here's Foster. Look at him run. He got good blocking up front, but then he makes a couple of guys miss or at least slow down, and he gets it out close to midfield. That'll be another Tennessee first down.
Yeah, good blocks at the point of attack, and then shifty feet up front. Gets good block at the attack. They cut down inside. That's Raymond Foster, number 78. He got a good block inside. Then you just let Foster get into that secondary, and he just starts dancing around. Foster, number 78, stepping up for getting his chance to start today.
Now Hardesty picking up big chunks at a time. That'll be a 6-yard gain. And it looks like a Tennessee player slow to get up on that offensive line. Looks like Rob Smith. Yeah. Left guard hobbling off. Rob Smith, a junior out of Fort Thomas, Kentucky.
You want before I find out what the injury is.
The announcers for this game are selected and compensated by Jefferson Pilot Sports. This broadcast is a copyright presentation. Any use of this broadcast without the express permission of the Southeastern Conference and Jefferson Pilot Sports is prohibited. Dave Neal, Dave Rowe, Dave Baker from Lexington, Kentucky. 6th play of this drive.
Good control by Eric Ainge on this series. Not throwing the ball a whole lot, but good control, good game management. Here comes the throw.
Ainge got rid of it. They will say he was outside the tackle box as Ben McGrath had a hold of Eric Ainge. But the question is, did the ball get across the line?
Yeah, I think it did. The line is Let's see if we can see that again.
Well, let's check in with Dave Baker. Who'll give us a little clue on what the call was.
Yeah. Well, you know, I thought it was good officiating by Penn Wagers. You know, he gets up there and he gets on the PA. He hears the crowd. He lets them know exactly what happened. I like that kind of interaction there. Lets the fans know.
Setting up a little screen. Foster breaks one tackle. Can't break the second and third guys. That'll be a loss of about 7 on the play.
And Dave, number 16 is Wesley Woodyard. I want to tell you, he plays with abandon out there. Just a sophomore, and when he gets a chance, as we looked at, there's Woodyard right there. Look at that enthusiasm he plays with.
Not very big, 6'1", 200, but he always is around the football.
They really like him. Boy, he can flat out run for the ball, leads the team in tackles.
Colquitt end over end kick. Fair catch called for by Raphael Little. He drops it, but he picks it up.
I'm wondering if that cold ball makes a little difference. The texture gets a little bit cold. Maybe it gets slick.
Don't make excuses. He just dropped it.
Okay.
Closed captioning for today's telecast is presented by Shutt Sports, the gear that makes the game. I mean, I'm sure Raphael appreciates the thought, but
I'm trying to give a little love like you gave to Dave Archer. Yeah, right.
Yeah, I won't be getting any kind of Christmas gift from the former Iowa State quarterback anytime soon. But that's okay. I didn't think I was going to get one anyway.
Yeah.
1:27 to go in the third. Here's Pulley still in. Pass batted in the air and picked off. Touchdown, Tennessee. It's Justin Harrell. His second interception of the season. This one is for 6.
Well, there's one thing to block a pass, but when you're a defensive lineman and you block the pass and you keep your eye open and look and see it, that's incredible. That just doesn't happen. I played a long time. I never had that happen.
He's already knocked one pass down today. Paris Harrelson has knocked one down today. This time, though, Justin Harrell kept it alive. He batted it around and took it in for the touchdown. The junior out of Martin, Tennessee.
Call that a lineman's dream. Let me tell you something. It's a lineman's dream.
I don't know that I've seen a front four. And it's really like 6 guys, 7 guys rotating in for Tennessee. Point after attempt is up and good, Dave. But their front 4, 5, 6, 7 guys. And I mean, the rotation among the front 4. They've made more plays than any front 4 I have ever seen.
That's why they were preseason judged the best in the nation.
See if we can see number 92. I think he's right in here. Let's see if we can see him when he's down. Comes up 92.
That's what we're looking for.
Right in his face, yeah. Now look, the ball just bounces up. Look at the hands.
Did that bounce off Pulley's helmet?
I thought it did. Watch again. Let's see it. 92. He comes up. Now he's right in his face. He's up. Oh, it did. I think it bounced off his shoulder. And then he just takes it in. What a lucky bounce. The man knew what to do with it.
There's no chance at 200 pounds that Curtis Pulley was going to bring down the 310-pound Justin Harrell. John Chavis' defense, not the reason that Tennessee came into this game with 4 wins on the year. Let's go down to Dave Baker for an All-Tel sideline report. Buzz?
You know, Dave, weird things like this, I guess, happened in the Kentucky-Tennessee game. Remember a year ago in that rain, Ricky Abram batted one of those things down, ran it in for a touchdown for Kentucky against Tennessee. As it relates to the Tennessee defensive ends, John Chavis, as good as these kids are on the field, he says they're even better off the field. Not 2 better people you'd meet. He's awfully proud of his front 4, and he should be awfully proud of this entire defensive unit that's only had 2 teams rush for 100 yards against it all season long.
Well, Buzz, I think Justin Harrell, though, he might want JP to show up every week next season. He had an interception, I believe it was in the opener that we did against UAB. He also had a big interception in that game, and then, of course, here he takes it in for a touchdown. Return by Raphael Little out to the 30-yard line. Good return by the little man, 27 yards. Kentucky 4th in the NCAA in punt returns. They're 3rd in the country in kickoff returns.
27 yards. Raphael Little, Kentucky 31.
Well, the Southern Sports Award is just a few weeks away. The fan voting is over, but now you can get a chance to see who won. The show will run on Thursday, December 8th on Comcast Sports and December 9th on Fox Sports Net South, Fox Sports Net Southwest, and Sun Sports. Tim Brando, John Sally, James Carville are the hosts. We hope you can join us for that. Should be a lot of fun. Flag down. Keenan Burton with the catch. You know, also scheduled to appear in that thing. Dean Smith, Richard Petty, Bobby Bowden, Burt Reynolds, Steve Spurrier, Frank Beamer, Jeff Francoeur, Kenny Smith, George Rogers, Billy Packer.
Who's not appearing?
And Elvis.
And
Elvis. Looks like Kentucky will back up 5 yards.
Not enough men on the line of scrimmage on the offense. Penalty 5 yards. Down remains first.
Well, you know, we've talked a lot about this Tennessee defense, and you've obviously made a lot of points about how strong they are. You're right. It is not the Tennessee defense. I mean, you talk about, remember, they lost Jason Allen early. I mean, that was their best cornerback. Then you lose somebody like
probably the country's best.
Yeah, exactly. And then you lose Jason Mitchell, and you're still playing at the level that they're playing.
And they get another sack. This time it's Turk McBride, a guy who's got all kinds of talent, who just can't crack the starting lineup because of the other guys.
Well, that's why they're 6 deep at the front line. Front four, and then you throw in a Turk McBride, McDaniels, throw those kind of guys in. Good tackle there, boy. I'll tell you one thing, no sacks. This is when Tennessee really puts the pressure on. When they know you're going to pass, they are flat out going to be coming after you.
2 sacks today by Tennessee will give them 32 on the year. Pulley rolls to his right, stops, fires, passes high and into the Tennessee bench. Scott Mitchell, the intended receiver.
Pulley let that thing fly. That was about 45 yards in the air. He's got a strong arm. He's got a lot of talent. They like his running ability. He thinks he's got a real good future here. They think that he and Woodson will have a real duel. So they've got a lot of players in position, Dave, that they just need to have up their speed a little bit, so to speak.
Raphael Little, of course, just a sophomore, will be back to lead this running attack. There's Pulley, steps and fires, passes caught at the 25, but that is on a 3rd and 22. Not exactly what the fans had wanted, but that'll be the end of the 3rd quarter. Tennessee puts another touchdown on the board. They lead at 24-6. Of course, the big play from Justin Harrell, an INT for the TD. Tennessee certainly has a lot to dance about. 24-6 over the Wildcats. And now Kentucky facing a 4th down and 16 will punt it away. Tim Estee to punt it. A true freshman from Murray, Kentucky. Jonathan Hefney stands back at his 30-yard line. Low line drive kick. That gets a good roll, and Drake Davis will down it at the 36-yard line. Curtis Pulley, by the way, 16 out of 21 for 116 yards today, as we look at some more numbers in our Gatorade 3rd quarter statistics. 25 minutes of possession time for Kentucky. They have racked up 202 yards, but only 6 points on the board.
Yeah, that age, 16 of 22, 204 yards, all in the first half. That was an incredible first half. I want to see him throw it some more. I think he's got a lot of confidence, and we've talked a lot about that. But they're going to run it here, just trying to keep the ball down, use the clock.
Austin Rogers, the true freshman, on a little bit of a reverse. He'll pick up the 1st down inside Kentucky territory, back to the 38. Wesley Woodyard will bring him down. That's 9 tackles for Woodyard.
How about Aaron Sears, big number 76? Big number 76 is going to be out leading this reverse. Look at him out there. Good cut right there. Gets a good block. Frees Rogers up. Again, you'll see number 76 right there. Cut him down.
Rogers with great speed. The freshman, true freshman out of Nashville, Tennessee. He and Josh Briscoe, another freshman, true freshman. Briscoe from Shelby, North Carolina. And then Lucas Taylor, another true freshman in that wide receiver core. Here's Arian Foster. Arian, the redshirt freshman out of San Diego, California, picks up a 1st down. And now Arian Foster is showing a little bit of what we saw last week.
Good blocks up front. They locked him down in there. Good block by the wide out there. Schuler gets a good, I should say Chris Brown gets a good block on Schuler to free him up. You're right. When Tennessee can pound it on you, Dave, they're just going to keep on pounding it. They're not going to go get fancy. They don't make mistakes. Now's the time when you're just going to have to stop them, or they're going to drive it down your throat.
Foster slipped, but fell forward for a couple. As you look at Arian Foster, remember there was a young man by the name of Montario Hardesty who the coaches raved about at Tennessee at a fall camp. A little bit banged up, loved his skill. Montario was starting to get some action, got hurt against Ole Miss, blew out his knee, and had he not gotten hurt, Arian Foster Foster wouldn't have been the next guy in line behind Gerald Riggs. And because of that, now Philip Fulmer goes into next season knowing I got a guy who I can rely on.
That's exactly right. He goes in there saying, I got depth. Right. I got depth at that position because Foster got his chance. And you know what? As a football player, that's all you want. You want a chance to prove yourself.
Clausen throws it away as he was under pressure. That came from Wesley Woodyard. Excuse me, Ainge.
That's what I was thinking. I said, wait a minute, did Clausen come in there?
There he is.
Yeah. There he is.
There he is. I knew he was over there somewhere. Rick Clausen will end his career here. Of course, started at LSU, then transferred to Tennessee. And, of course, he's got a younger brother that is on his way to a college of his choice.
Yeah. I wonder where he's going. I wonder where he's
Well, you know, I really think that what happens with the offensive coordinator position at Tennessee will have a lot to do with where Jimmy Clausen goes. Big hit on Lucas Taylor. It's incomplete. Wesley Woodyard with the big collision.
Yeah, with the Randy Sanders departure, and he was certainly instrumental. But a lot of people are pointing at David Cutcliffe.
Yes, they are. And, you know, I mean, if he's... You almost would be crazy not to. If David Cutcliffe wants an offensive coordinator position, you'd be crazy not to offer it to him.
Oh, he had such marvelous success. Look at the string of quarterbacks that he developed.
And there is Randy Sanders, who I talked to before the game today, and I said, so what's next? And he says, I'll get up in the morning, go to the office, and clean it out.
Well, you know, he's been a Tennessee fella for his whole career. Played, of course, came as a grad assistant, then just a wonderful guy.
40-yard field goal from James Wilhoit is good. His second today. He hit from 31 earlier. The lead is now 21. It's 27-6. 27-6. Tennessee on top of Kentucky as the Volunteers looking to stretch out their advantage over Kentucky. They have dominated this series, won 20 straight. Trying to make it 21 as you look at that last drive, and it was successful. So that means another $500 to the SEC's Education Initiative, courtesy of Safe Auto Insurance Company. Call 1-800-SAFE-AUTO, and you too can be a successful driver. That kick comes to Drake Davis. Davis to the 20. Davis to the 30. Davis to the 36-yard line. 32-yard return. John Chavis' defense has been, I would say, on top of it today, Dave Rowe.
Absolutely, and they've been in the face of Kentucky all day long in the backfield. That's where they play. They come off the ball hard. You see the results there. Every once in a while, you're going to get a lucky play. That time by Justin Harrell, but they've been in the backfield. Great penetration. Every time the quarterback has gotten the ball off, he's been down.
Curtis Pulley stands in there, fires, and is it picked off? They will say yes by Jonathan Hefney, his third of the season. Pulley was looking for Scott Mitchell, and the ball sailed on him, and Hefney, the sophomore out of Rock Hill, South Carolina, comes up with the INT.
Yeah, a little play action fake right there and come back. And what he does is he just either overthrew. I thought he was actually going to the wide out, going down the sideline, but he may have been, as you said, it may have sailed over top of the head. But Hefney, playing the quarterback's eyes, moves to the ball.
I'm looking down at Rich Brooks right now, as you can see Philip Fulmer, but he's trying to get a review, and we'll wait and see if any of those buzzers sound on the tips of the officials. But look at that Vol defense, 64 rushing yards allowed, 7 tackles for loss, a couple of interceptions, one of those taken back for a touchdown. And that last interception will get this crowd heading toward the turnstiles. But a big defensive play on the other end by the Wildcats as B.J. Parsons comes in for his second sack today.
Boy, you like a sack like this because Parsons just never gave up. He just kept on rushing. Top of your screen up there, you see him right in there, just keeps on pushing, gets that arm underneath, rips up, gets a little help there from the backside. But Parsons, he's forced to fumble. He had a quarterback pressure, 5 tackles and 2 sacks. Not a bad day.
Nope. Out of Irvine, California. Long way.
Yeah.
Come over here to Lexington, Kentucky. Here's Ainge. A couple of good blocks as Chris Brown, the tight end, gets close to that first down marker. The 6'3", 245-pounder.
Well, Dave, one thing you can't do is you can't roll tackle or bump somebody out of bounds. You've got to grasp them. Watch, see if they grasp them right there. That's not a grasp. There's a bump. That's not a grasp. Now, finally, they get him at the end. But when you're, as you said, you're about 6'3", 245 pounds. You're not going to take a roll block and go out of bounds or go down.
And one of those missed tackles, Muhammad Abdullah, the safety, he is pretty sure when it comes to tackling. He's second among defensive backs in total tackles in the league. And third and very short, Eric Ainge with a quarterback sneak. That'll be good enough for a first down.
As long as you're Tennessee and Phil Fulmer, you're able to have success running the football, doing those little safe little dump offs to your tight end. You just keep on running it. You just keep the clock going. You want to go home. He said last week, he said, boy, we hit rock bottom last week. This week we're starting back up. So he's going to hit the trail, do a lot of recruiting.
I mean, this is the first time in 16 years that he will not go to a bowl game. That breaks Tennessee's string, which was the third longest in the country in terms of going to a bowl game. But you want to talk about a strange offseason for Philip Fulmer. Arian Foster with a good stiff arm. Bo Smith runs him out of bounds. But 16 straight bowl games, as you see, only surpassed by Michigan's consecutive string of 30. Then Florida State is at 23. Florida in there at 14. Of course, they are bowl eligible. And speaking of bowl eligible teams, that leads me to the Southeastern Conference. And, you know, there are 8 tie-ins with the SEC, but this year only 6 clubs able to make it into that postseason environment, which means the league will lose out on a little bit of bowl money. I think everybody's clamoring to try to get South Carolina in their bowl game. Arian Foster with a big hole, and that'll be close to another Tennessee first down. And while we're at it, you know, we can begin to look at players of the year and coaches of the year. But I got to tell you, as we look at this replay of Arian Foster, but Foster gets up a little slow. That's why we show that again. It just looks like he might have tweaked his ankle. But I got to say this, Steve Spurrier, the job that he did.
Oh, amazing. Who'd have thunk that? Gosh.
Far surpassed what anybody thought could have happened at South Carolina. And, you know, why do you think he was able to do it?
Well, I think, first of all, he coaches fundamentals. He brought a quarterback in Blake Mitchell out of nowhere. I had never heard of Blake Mitchell before this year, and what a year he had. He got the most out of his players. He found a guy named Sidney Rice, who is pretty incredible, and he just was able just to hang in there with games and made players react. I mean, people sometimes don't like his tactics or his methods. You remember the players that he suspended?
Right.
But they probably needed suspended. I hate to say that because I'm a...
Well, the team that he took over when he got hired there in November was not the team he put on the field in September.
Yeah. Well, I think he certainly, I think you've got a solid point there. I think he is a outstanding coach. Oh, that's short. You can see that. See the purple line?
You've got to get to the purple line.
Right.
We keep telling these guys you got to get to the purple line, and nobody wants to.
We ought to just show the purple line.
But I just hats off to South Carolina. And
how about some of these freshmen that? How about Darren McFadden?
Yeah.
What a year he had.
We've seen some unbelievable freshman performances this year, which is a good sign for this league. It was a little sluggish offensively in the league this year. No team ranked in the top 25 in scoring offense. And you look at the defenses, though, if you rank 6th or 7th in this league, you're still in the top 20 in the country. Loose football. Eric Ainge got hit, and it sputters out of there, and it's Wesley Woodyard. He will take it back to the 40. They'll spot it where? At the 47-yard line of Tennessee.
And I want to tell you, Ainge took this ball. You talk about getting stuck. This is a stick. Thunk. He just got hit right in the helmet. The ball just came out the backside of his arm. Watch Woodyard. There he is. He pulls it out of there. Nice play. Now get up there and get a block or two. Good defense there by number 45. I think that's Corey Anderson, the fullback. Saved the touchdown.
That's 4 fumble recoveries for Wesley Woodyard. He has 10 tackles today to lead this Kentucky defense.
Now you got 9.5 minutes left. Can you score 21 points in 9.5 minutes? Sure, you can do it. I have too.
I've seen it here. Can't do it if you throw interceptions up. The only problem is usually it's the opponent putting up some last-minute charge against Kentucky.
Well, what happens on this play is that Pulley just zeroes in, and you see Jonathan Wade come over there. He's going to Tammy, his tight end, number 18. But you've got to be able to look off in this league, and that's something as a freshman quarterback you learn. You've got to be able to look to one side, then come back to your primary receiver. You've got to be able to look off. If you don't, those centers, I mean, those two safeties in the middle, they're just reading your eyes.
Jacob Tammy trying to get the corner. Can't do it. Run out of bounds at the 42. Demetrius Morley runs him out of bounds. A flag back in that Kentucky backfield.
This is a good pattern by Tammy underneath. Good catch. Look at that. Reach out with those hands. He's one of those sophomores they're really going to count on. He's tall and lanky at 6'5", about 235. I wonder if that was roughing the quarterback on the tail end.
Roughing the passer, number 98. Took more than 2 steps, knocked the quarterback down. It will be added to the end of the catch. First down.
Wow, that's a big gain for Kentucky.
Yeah, that's Paris Harrelson. Boy, what a wonderful fella he is. Watch the throw.
Curtis Pulley doesn't think so.
Well, wait a minute. That's merely a bump into somebody. I mean, it wasn't a vicious hit. I even saw a smile on Rich Brooks' face.
There isn't one on Philip Fulmer.
No.
10 penalties for 92 yards today.
Let's see if Pulley can look off receivers here. Nice step up in the pocket.
Pulley will run it. Get hit by 1, 2, 3, 4 white jerseys. First one on the spot was Ryan Carl.
And I can tell you that Pulley is going to learn one thing in the SEC. When you run the ball, you get to the ground.
Right.
Because you don't cut back and run over these
Chris
guys.
Leak at Florida has learned that.
Exactly. You better get to the ground, because let me tell you, the big boys are coming, and you can hear them. It's a learning experience. There's our purple line. He's only got to make it to, what, about the 16 and a half, maybe?
If you can get to the 16, it'll be a first down. 2nd and 4. Pulley stands in there, fires, passes caught underneath. That's Tommy Cook, and I think he might have gotten the first down. He did so inside the 15.
Yeah, good stiff arm there on Rashawn Fellows. He just puts that arm out, and he just blocks him, Tommy Cook does. But how about Pulley staying in the pocket? Look at this. Run him around, stays in there, uses that arm. Not a pretty pass as far as the spiral. There's the stiff arm. Pushes off. I thought I saw the last part of that play. Hey, who's that? There's Buzz. Hey, Buzz, what are you doing? What a terrible base. What a terrible base.
You gotta have a wide base.
No,
right
you
there.
You were dodging.
Loose football. Tennessee's got it. No, they don't. It's still loose. Let's see who. It's still loose. Whistles are blowing before anybody had control.
You know, I believe in getting up and running with the ball, but what you've got to do is first recover it. Tennessee had that ball.
Matt McCutcheon comes up with the fumble recovery. Robert Ayers is the man who forced the fumble.
Now, you can't carry this like a loaf of bread. That ball barely gets touched. You got to put that ball away. Remember when we were in Florida and they talked about that ball security, their coaches? They coach ball security. Pulley needs to coach. They need to coach him in ball security.
That was Justin Harrell, not Robert Ayers, who forced the fumble. Robert Ayers had a chance to pick it up. He lost the handle. If people could see the signals, the hand signals that spotter Kim Anderson tries to give me, they would go, Dave, this is unbelievable that you're able to accomplish what you do.
Well, he's the best in the business, let me tell you. He's the best in the business.
I mean, here's Kim. This
there
is
he
Kim
is right there. That's him.
It is
Look,
like
Kim.
It is like a fire drill when there's a fumble up here,
yeah,
folks.
This is some of the movements.
Yeah. We have a good time. Kim's been spotting for the Neal boys. My dad included since about 1975. Started in 74.
He's old.
Of course, I was playing then, so.
You know, I've noticed his binoculars are getting thicker. Here's Pooley.
Screen.
Raphael Little has some blockers, but then here comes the swarming group of white jerseys led by Jonathan Wade. Let's go downstairs and check in with Dave Baker. Buzz?
Dave, you might notice it's going to be third down now. Penn Wagers, the referee, said it was his determination that on the fumble there had not been a change of possession. Tennessee never possessed the ball in his opinion. Therefore, the downs don't reset. That's why Kentucky's now looking at the 3rd and 19.
From the 23. First down markers inside the 10-yard line. Actually, inside the 5 at about the 4. Here's Pooley rolling, throwing, passes bobbled and intercepted. Demetrius Morley with the interception, his first of his young career. Keenan Burton had it and bobbled it, and Morley was there.
No excuse for this. This is Keenan Burton's fault. He just doesn't look it in. He tries to catch it against his body. Look at this, wide open. Don't look around to see where you're going to run, Keenan. Just look the ball in. That ball's delivered well. Over the defender, look at this. Jumps up, he doesn't even get hit. Boy, that's a good reaction, too. I want to tell you something right now. Morley makes a great play on that because he was coming up for the tackle and made that last-second adjustment and intercepted it. And what a difference, Dave. That would have been first down on the 5.
3 interceptions for the Tennessee defense today. Ainge under pressure, gets rid of it, and that was nearly picked off, but a flag comes down, and I think that's to indicate the ball did not get past the line of scrimmage.
I think that's exactly what
and it was in the end zone, and so that if he they're going to talk about this. If Penn Wagers, who's back there, didn't think he got outside the tackle box and the ball did not get past the line of scrimmage, those two components have to happen. You have to have outside the tackle box, past the line of scrimmage. Otherwise, that'll be a safety.
Yeah, there's about where he has to get outside. Does he get outside?
And now he's got to get past the line of scrimmage. It is.
Yep.
The ball did not go beyond the line of scrimmage.
Exactly right, Dave. Excellent call.
So the scoreboard pops up 28-27. Now they take the 2 off, so it's 27-8. So something goes Kentucky's way. Lexington, Kentucky.
On a cool day.
Cool. Well, each week we've been promoting the Polaris Tough Play of the Week contest. Today we are pleased to announce that Derek Roberts of Winston, Georgia is the lucky winner of the 2006 Polaris Hawkeye ATV. Congratulations to Derek, who was selected from more than 11,000 entries. And thanks to all who visited PolarisToughPlays.com to vote for the Polaris Tough Play of the Week. All right, Derek. I don't know where Winston, Georgia is, and I live in Atlanta. Maybe you can drive his Polaris up and see me.
His ATV. You know what? I was just going to say, it's interesting. You have the option to kick off here, or you can punt. Almost everybody likes to punt because it gets such, high and they get good coverage. But this is a good opportunity for Kentucky to get a good return. Their special teams have been real special.
High, not very long, bobbled by Raphael Little, and he's dropped at the 41-yard line. Let's go back and check out our Aaron scoreboard. In Mississippi State with a couple of touchdowns, Ole Miss jumped out to a 7-0 lead. That game closing in on halftime. NC State late in the 4th, 20-14 over the Terrapins. Iowa State, that game has to be getting close to concluding. 21-14. Cyclones out on top.
In that NC State Maryland game, whoever wins goes to a bowl. They become bowl eligible.
Blues football. Aiden Lane falls on it, 57. Curtis Pooley hit by Paris Harrelson. That's his second forced fumble today to go along with 5 tackles, a sack, a quarterback pressure.
Yeah, there's that speed. Boy, I'll tell you, Harrelson, if he can rush like that, all the way around the backside corner, look at the speed. Get to the outside. He uses that speed, gets good separation. I like the way he plays with his hands. I'll tell you, I know he's small, but you're looking at 2 forced fumbles, a quarterback pressure, 4 or 5 sacks.
Here's Pooley. Gets the corner, stays in bounds to the 35. He will pick up about 7 or 8 of the 12 he lost moments ago.
And I'll tell you, Pooley is really fearless. I mean, he's pointing downfield, breaking tackles.
He is one tough customer.
Yes.
Just a true freshman from Hopkinsville, Kentucky. He has been hit by a lot of big bodies in white jerseys today, but he keeps bouncing up.
Yeah, one of the things that Kentucky, I should say Tennessee, can do is they can put such pressure on you with only 4 rushing linemen. They don't need to bring backers because their front 4, they crush pockets all the time, just like they did that time. That time it was Hall coming in there, Jason Hall.
There's Raphael Little, who just set the single season record for Kentucky football with now 1,953 all-purpose yards this season. And Raphael Little averaging 180 all-purpose yards per game, #1 in the league, 4th in the country. Went over 1,000 yards this year on the ground alone. That's only the 6th player in UK history to do that in a season. He's averaging over 100 yards per game, which is 4th in the conference. The young man has just busted onto the scene, a sophomore out of Anderson, South Carolina. There's Pooley, steps up, fires, batted in the air again, and guess who's got it? Raphael Little out over the 40 to the 41. But on 4th and 15, he still needed about another 9 yards. And that will be a change of possession with 5:18 to go in the contest. Tennessee in control on the road. Tennessee leading 27-8, looking to make it 21 straight over the Wildcats. Tennessee takes over on downs. And Eric Ainge still in at quarterback. He hands it off to Arian Foster. Foster down to the 35-yard line. Last regular season game right here on Jefferson Pilot Sports in 2005. But don't forget, we'll come to you Saturday at noon Eastern. Half hour earlier than we do for kickoffs, but the same time that we've had our Cooper Tires pregame show all year with our Chick-fil-A SEC Championship football game special from the World Congress Center right next to the Georgia Dome. From the Dr. Pepper SEC Fanfare, we'll break down the game for you, have some special interviews here from the coaches and players from Georgia and LSU, and get you set for what should be a great evening of Southeastern Conference football. That's all next week from Atlanta. Arian Foster to the outside, trying to get that first down, and gets about 8 more yards than necessary. And now Arian Foster up over 100 yards today.
And Dave, he had no chance of making that thing work. He gave that little dip inside, got the defensive corner to commit, and then burst outside of him. Again, watch this. The point of attack was right in there. He didn't get it. Now, right there, you see that little dip inside. He made Roger Williams bite on that dip. Then he gets to the outside, picks up that 6-7 yards that you talked about.
And for Arian Foster, that is 5 straight games with 100 yards on the ground. And it's his first 5 starts as a Tennessee Volunteer. That's a pretty good omen for 2006. And as far as Arian Foster, to put a cap on this, he's the first running back since Chuck Webb back in '89, who just had an unbelievable freshman year to rush for 100 yards in his first 5 career starts. So, and Arian Foster moving up the charts among Tennessee's freshman running backs. Chuck Webb, I was talking to Haywood Harris and Gus Manning, of course, 2 legendary, knowledgeable people in the Tennessee family, and they were talking to me about just the kind of season Chuck Webb had in 1989. They just said, had he not had some injuries, this young man would have set the world on fire. Chuck Webb doesn't need to lose any yards. Ricky Abram with the tackle. That happened one year, and you remember the guy, when I was a little kid, my dad was doing the Falcons games. Dave Hampton was a running back for the Atlanta Falcons.
I remember it.
And he went over 1,000 yards, got tackled, he carried it one more time and lost like 3 yards, and nobody paid attention to it, but he finished with like 998 that season.
I remember that. I remember that so well. Yeah, the mark when I played in the NFL was 1,000 yards. But you know, I was thinking along Chuck Webb when you were talking about him. Realize this, with that average, you can't have a bad game. I mean,
123 a game.
You're averaging 123 a game.
That handoff to Foster will gain back what he lost. Woodyard with his 12th tackle for the Wildcats as the clock goes under 2:40.
And Dave, you see where Mike Archer is going to need help on this defense, and it's up front. Right now, Tennessee outweighs the front line of Kentucky, and they're pounding them down. They're just wearing them down later and later in the game. And he said, I've got to have 4 or 5 big linemen. I'm going out to get them as soon as the season's over. There's Mike Archer, the defensive coordinator.
Said, you know, the quick help is the junior college route.
Yeah.
You don't want to spend a lot of your scholarships on junior college, but I think this is a situation where you plug a hole or two defensively with some JC players, bring in some of the true freshman guys that maybe can help you a year or two down the road, and go from there.
Well, and it's always interesting to hear coaches say, you wouldn't think that defensive linemen are the hardest players to try and get.
Well, one final time this year. Let's go down to Dave Baker. How many times have I said that this year? Let's go to Dave Baker.
Thank you very much, Dave. Listen, holiday shopping season. My buddy Tom Leach, who does the UK play-by-play, he says the other day, I've got a perfect Christmas present for you, and the cost is great too. Look at this. Vintage Dave Rowe, New Orleans Saints.
Goodness.
I mean, look at that. That's like pristine condition. Now the best thing is what it says on the back. Dave, a 4-sport star in high school, was an all-Pennsylvania college selection. And look, there's a little skirt that says, Dave played in the Hula Bowl.
Thank you.
But I mean, who is that young guy?
Who did you play against in that Hula Bowl?
Steve Spurrier.
That's exactly right.
Yes.
Yeah, we reminisced with Steve Spurrier about that when we saw him for the Florida game, and he was talking about, you remember Big Dave Rowe coming at him?
Yeah, he said, I remember you chasing me. I said, well, I probably never got to you.
Right. Incomplete to Raphael Little. 1:48 to go in this game. And for Kentucky, Dave, we've talked about their needs. They need to get, I think first and foremost, they need to get healthy.
Yeah.
On the flip side of that, Tennessee, you know, they're going to have athletes. They're going to have playmakers. But the playmakers, like this wide receiver core, probably as gifted talently, physically as anybody in this league, but they just did not create any big plays all year for Tennessee. Can you coach that, or is that just an innate ability from a player?
Well, you cannot coach speed, but you can coach catching the ball, looking it in, the basic fundamentals and those things. You can coach that. But what they need to do is they need to sit down, make a decision on their quarterback. They thought they had it coming in. We saw that UAB game to open up the season, and then all of a sudden it started getting shaky, and it's been back and forth, and it's been a nightmare for Philip Fulmer.
Well, they can start working on next season right this second, if they so choose, both of these teams, with 1:23 and counting to go here in Lexington. But it's been a real problem today for Kentucky, and it's been an issue for them, and that is red zone scoring. They just haven't been able to put the ball in the end zone this afternoon in the red zone when they had some golden opportunities. Bully out to Raphael Little, and he'll pick up the first down. And here's a look at what we're talking about with that red zone today. If you can't see that, let me tell you what it says. They are 0 for 5 with 2 field goals. In terms of touchdowns, they are 0 for 5. And they had some opportunities in that red zone look, powered by Honda generators, for the ultimate tailgating experience.
Well, they got down there. You remember one time they went for it. They didn't get it on that 4th down when they went down on the 1-yard line, came up. Then they had to flinch, I should say, on 4th down. And they just have shot themselves in the foot. You have got to be able to get in that red zone and get touchdowns, especially when you're playing against a team like Tennessee. You get opportunities. They got 3 in that first half and got 6 points out of it.
David Hamilton in at quarterback, hands off to Raphael Little. David Hamilton getting some work, the 6'2" junior out of Lexington Tates Creek High School, just around the corner from Commonwealth Stadium. There is Keenan Burton. He looks like he's a little banged up. He's been this way all year. He missed 4 games with a broken foot.
Well, you know, I looked at Rich Brooks' staff and I said to him, I said, it's not like it was a few years ago when he used to say, man, do we need help. Now he said, if you give me 5 players, I can turn this whole program around. And that's what they're going to go after, those 5. Now, I don't know exactly where those 5 players, where he thinks they're needed, but he's got a plan. And he's got some pieces of the puzzle in place.
Pulley back on the field, and he is dropped back at the 20-yard line.
And there's a mistake, Dave. You don't eat that football in that situation. You don't take a 10, 12-yard loss on a play. You get rid of it. Got to feel that pressure coming up the middle right there. See that pressure right there coming up the middle? Now what you do is roll out, throw the ball, get rid of it.
I'll tell you what, I'm looking at the numbers over here. That's the 73rd play for Kentucky today. They have only amassed 218 yards of offense. That's 3 yards per play.
Well, and there you see that front 4 of Tennessee. They put tremendous pressure on the quarterback all day long, and they forced him to throw underneath. And if you're going to beat Tennessee, you've got to go deep. You've got to challenge their secondary.
Well, it's not going to happen today as the clock strikes 0. Philip Fulmer wins the final game of the year, and certainly that is a breath of fresh air that this team had lost 4 of their last 5 games this season, but they win today. Their streak now at 21. It's been since 1964 that they've lost to Vanderbilt and Kentucky in the same season, so that streak will continue as well. But today, Tennessee got off to a good start and held on 27-8. Their defense was great. And really, Eric Ainge, he didn't throw a lot, only 3 completions in the second half, but he was 17 out of 25 for 221 and 2 TDs. Let's go downstairs, check in with a defensive star alongside Dave Baker.
Hey, Dave, we're here with Paris Harrelson. Not the biggest guy in the world, but boy, you guys can make it work up front.
We just come out and play hard in each other game. You know, our season hasn't went the way we wanted to go, but we just had to come out here and try to finish up. Finish hard.
Paris, what's it been like for you? It hadn't been the kind of season you wanted, but this gives you a boost going into the offseason.
I mean, yeah, it gives us a boost going to the offseason. We know got a lot of things to work on. Just got to get back to work and get ready.
All right, thanks, Paris. We appreciate it. Head coach Philip Fulmer. Hey, Miss Fulmer, how you doing? Philip, a good way to get your season going into the offseason. I know it's not ending up the way you wanted.
No, we haven't had a season quite like this one, and I'm proud of the kids for sticking to it, and our seniors. I mean, we never did really have an effort problem during the course of the year, Dave, but we just didn't make enough plays. Made some plays today. Defense has done real well for us this year, and our special teams have gotten better. But obviously, we got a lot to do in the offseason to get back where we want to be next year.
We were with you before week 1, before that UAB game. I think the performance you got from Eric in the first half is what you thought you were going to get from him all season long.
I think Eric's a good prospect. He's obviously got, a lot to learn yet, and he's a very talented young man, and had a tough year. He had a tough year. He and Rick, that whole thing was kind of never panned itself out like anybody would like for it to, either way. And but he's a good prospect.
He's a better prospect with a guy like Arian Foster in the backfield. 5 starts, 5 100-yard games for you.
Arian's a good back, and competition next spring and next fall make him a real good back before it's all said and done. Yeah, thank you.
Thanks, Philip. Okay. We appreciate it. Dave, back up to you.
All right, thank you very much, Buzz. A somber Philip Fulmer, but you mentioned it. Arian Foster will have some competition in that tailback spot, which should be a lot of fun. We will be back right after this.